Wake up, gamers, because you're in the Big Think Dimension, the first gaming podcast to self-isolate and sound good. Featuring KZ Excellent.
I think video game good.
Dan and Bob Video Game.
You see that mountain? You can self-isolate on that mountain, Bob.
Oh, thank God.
And Mr. Feel.
Seesaw murder! Seesaw murder!
Here on GigaBoots.
Gentlemen, I hope to God none of you have eaten motherfucking Spam.
No.
I ate that weird one you ate last week.
No, you didn't.
Okay, no.
No, you didn't. We've mentioned it. The free space is filled.
No, that doesn't count. Also, it's a free space, so it's always filled. That's how that works.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Also feel, I'm sorry.
What?
It was the Tocino Spam, so we do need to talk about it.
Okay.
No!
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed I didn't get takes on it last week, so hurry.
Tocino Spam, weirdly sweet. You would agree, right, Bob?
Yeah, definitely. It's I had to go through the weird instructions to cook it, which I wouldn't have even read, but Tosh told me about
warned you.
You show the meat in a pan with some extra water.
Yeah.
You cook the water down to be a syrup.
Because the thing, exactly. You need to distill the Tocino flavor into a syrup, and then you can eat your Tocino Spam. Just kind of sweet. Has a few good spices in it, but I did not expect it to be anywhere near as sweet as it was.
And then because of that weird cooking process, it ended up tasting more like boiled meat.
Yes.
And it's not great.
It's not.
That really ruins it for me.
It's kind of hitting on the lower end of Spams for me, but I don't know. I guess we're going to bust out that bacon Spam at some point. And then we'll establish a new ground floor of Spam.
It just tastes like Spam with like a tiny bit of hickory smoke.
Hopefully.
Exciting.
I hope you're right.
I need to buy it if so. I like bacon.
Yeah.
I enjoy Spam.
Yeah.
This seems like the ultimate combo.
Finally. Powerful flavors.
It'll be like the Japanese name for Hobbs and Shaw, which would be Wild Speed Super Combo.
Wait, is Hobbs and Shaw part of the... Oh, it's past...
Yeah, it's Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, or as it's called in Japan, Wild Speed Super Combo.
Very good name.
God, what a good name.
No.
The time has come for video game.
Yeah, no, we're good on food.
I did make a deep dish pizza, though.
Oh, yeah, you posted
No,
that
you
picture.
didn't. I looked at it, and no, you didn't. As I said, it was Full Metal Alchemist Episode 3.
It was pretty rough.
Bob posted a picture on his Twitter, so if you go over to twitter.com/giga_Bob.
Absolutely do not look up GigaBob, because that's wrong.
That is a different dude. You can see Bob's deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
How was it?
No, it wasn't very good. I think next time I'll try to make my own sauce, not using too much sauce, and
don't you got to make your own sauce.
Like it just didn't work out. It's all runny. It's not great.
That's unfortunate, but I'm sure you'll nail it next time. This was your first time using a brand new pan, making a new type of pizza. I'm sure it'll go better next time. Next time it won't come off as a weird abomination of a personal pan pizza you pick up from a grocery store that cost $4 for 2 in a single container.
Hopefully.
We'll find out. But yeah, no, I didn't do any food stuff. I mean, I did, but whatever. Fuck y'all. My open face sandwich was delicious.
It looked it.
It really was. You know, I assume people looked at it and assumed it was a giant egg, I don't know, egg patty with nothing inside with ketchup on it. That would have been disgusting. So I understand their comments, but anyway. So we need to talk about video games. Bob.
Yes.
I hear, keeping in the tradition of my brother beating my copy of Secret of Mana before I ever got to, you have continued this tradition and in fact beat my copy of Trials of Mana before I even booted it.
Yes.
How did that treat you?
That's pretty fun. I like that a lot. I started doing a New Game Plus mode after finishing it, which is a little rough because like even using all new characters, the story doesn't change that much. So it's a lot of repeated content, but you'll get like a quip from your character once in a while, and it's a lot to go through with just that. It does have really cool features for like, oh, you get triple experience going through on this mode, and you start with boosts and stuff to try and make it a smoother experience. And I wanted to do it at some point, but just jumping right back in, I couldn't do it. I was like, okay.
Who'd you pick as your main character this time? Did you pick Dobo? Did you pick Uwu Dobo?
I'm saving her for my third playthrough. I'm going to
the best.
I did what's the thief? God, I can't remember his name.
So do I. Hawkeye?
Yeah, that's right. It's Hawkeye. So I got him as the main character, and then the other two the Beast Man and Dobo is my side characters. And
So you still get some Dobo.
yes. I was going to do her next, but I was like, oh well, her and the other guy apparently share the same final boss, so I want to make sure that they're like a team that I go through is on some playthrough. And they put this character set up weird because you can't have like, well, I guess you could, but each set of two characters have different final bosses, but you have a 3-character team, so there's always going to be a left out one that doesn't feel like they're doing anything, which is strange. So I wanted to minimize that as much as possible while still seeing all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for Trials of Mana. Definitely check it out. It's a really cool remake. I want to go play the original as soon as I beat that one. I was like, I really want to see what this is like on the original system. So I might do that at some point. Maybe I'll beat Dan's copy of Trials of Mana on the Switch before he opens it.
Dan literally hides it.
I might. Go play it on the Super NT. We got that thing for a reason.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the way that it would be best to play that. That'd be really cool. Just get that ROM from on there.
Yeah.
But some other things I played this week. I played new releases.
There were new releases this week?
Yeah, multiple new releases.
What do you mean multiple?
Oh no!
I played Minecraft Dungeon.
God
No!
damn it! Did it delete you?
Luckily, I installed it on my Xbox, so I didn't have a chance to delete my PC.
Oh, that's good for you.
Should have got it on PlayStation 4 Pro.
I forgot that it came out on there, so when I saw it advertised, I was like, what? Oh my god.
You're like, we got to make money somehow.
I sort of forgot, but you got to play with Game Pass.
Yeah.
And you know that because every time you boot it, it's like, you have less than 2 weeks. You have less than 2 weeks. You have less than 2 weeks.
Please renew me, please.
What is it, The Ring?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah, that
okay,
game.
real quick before you dive into it, I'm going to give them the eagle eye view of someone looking across the room and looking at this game. Bob is playing on an Xbox One S. The first thing I notice is it's 30 frames per second when you're lucky. The second thing I notice is from across the room, for some reason your character's face isn't rendered at full resolution every frame. So he would melt as he turned.
Yeah, no, it was just awful looking.
Isn't this made of voxels?
It's made in the image of voxels.
Right, it's on Unreal 4. I don't know if they actually use voxels.
My question to you is, I watched one review, and that reviewer said they ran out of new content to experience after 3 hours. Is this true?
Oh my god.
I didn't play 3 hours. Oh no.
They said that, and then they made an updated review saying, okay, I played it on the harder difficulties. This still sucks.
Oh. I saw that difficulty menu, and I thought that might be where it went, but I was like, surely there's a full game here, and then these are like Diablo, where you just go through these other difficulties once you do it. I had no inclination, nothing that would make me think that all the 5 levels I unlocked was all the levels, but it could be the case.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of things of it's really short and people going, it's okay, this is targeted for children.
Oh.
That makes parents care about that more. If anything,
right?
Games should be the 350-hour-long Ubisoft bullshit.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Because already it was like, I was playing it, this game for uninitiated, it's a blatant Diablo clone, but simplified in every way you can imagine.
Yeah, it's a hack and slash dungeon crawler with an isometric view and 3D graphics. No somber tapestries though.
No.
So looking at Bob play it, like the way the equipment looks and everything else, it just seems even more bare bones than I assumed, right? Just the equipment system, like you were talking about, there's no easy way to compare equipment.
Yeah,
even.
you can't. And sometimes a number that they give for equipment doesn't really line up with the damage values that equipment has. Like it
What
does,
is it, like animal?
it's like, oh, this is rated 9. It does 21 to 30 damage. This one's rated 8. It does 22 to 31 damage.
Well, does it have
And
other stats?
No,
that are
it
important?
even had the same exact speed. And I
But,
was like,
but it's a different weapon type.
It's a different weapon type.
So
that might mean something, but you'd think the speed would kind of
you
negate
think the
that?
speed would be tied to the weapon type if they're going to make the weapon type swing at different speeds.
Yeah, and then it also was like, maybe it has to do with the abilities these things have, but then I upgrade the ability that increased its damage, and that didn't give me any sort of, like, it didn't tell me a number value behind that. It didn't adjust the number values anywhere on it.
Yeah, no. And just like there are all sorts of like small polish things that you just assume would be in a game like this shipping in 2020 that aren't.
Yeah, it's like Dan was saying,
This is a bummer.
it drops frames constantly. I don't think that the levels are auto-generated at all. I think they're just pre-made, because
Yeah, there's 13 pre-made levels.
and it's not like they look unique, but there's
Yeah.
something about them that you can tell that they're.
That kind of feels wrong because it's Minecraft. Like, why would
Why
would you
why
only
would you
do
not
pre-made
pre-
only based
Yeah.
on the game that generates a seed?
Yeah.
Like the what made me suspect it was I posted a picture on Twitter and was like, I think the map is wrong in this area, and someone else was like, no, you have to go around this way. I was like, wait, that means this level isn't unique at all. That means this guy has seen this exact level and knows how to get to
That has me even more worried now. If you tell me it's a 3-hour game and has no like generation of it.
Wow.
The map is kind of wrong all the time. Like, it'll show you something that you can get to, but really there's an incline on it, so you can't go there. So you have to find some other way around that's not marked.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, Bob, that's a problem with a lot of procedurally generated levels. I don't know why that's relevant right now, apparently, but that's a thing.
What if they just procedurally generated 13 levels and then made them the static levels for the game?
Probably. Oh no.
I'm so sad. I remember seeing this at an E3. I think it was last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was gonna be
and
neat.
I thought this looked cool, and I went, all right, if this is coming to PC, I'll want to play it.
Yeah, no, I was really positive on it too. So watching him actually play the real beast has me a little bummed, and I haven't played it on the X yet, but I'm very curious if it's also 30 frames per second, except for if enemy move too fast, then shits pants.
Yeah, it seems like anytime an enemy spawns in, it just drops frames like crazy. You know, enemies spawning in, something that happens almost constantly.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that's how that runs on the X, but to be honest, it's Microsoft's console. It shouldn't run that way on the S, but
Yeah, that's really
whatever.
Like, look at it. It's a very simple looking game.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that should
Yeah,
be
you
running
don't even
at
have a
30.
full resolution face.
Yeah, you don't have a full resolution face. Every single effect is like that. It looks just gross. Like, it's got that fake, like, reconstructing going on almost everything on screen, and it's really distracting.
Yeah, I'm watching footage of it, and it does. Ugh.
Every shop is a random item shop. You toss money, and they give you a random thing.
Why?
So, Bob, I got to ask you,
What's up?
this or Untold Legends?
Untold Legends.
Oh, fuck! No! I was just...
Look
you
what
don't even
did.
you don't even need to specify any of them. Heck, even that dungeon crawler that came out at the launch of Vita, that was also like a port of a mobile game. That was better.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
We covered it on the channel. I think we bought it for that. I don't know if we even covered it. I can't remember his name. I just remember like that was better. That's insane. I want to get direct comparison between this and Darksiders Genesis because I think they're the same style of game, but that's just almost certainly going to be better. This is one of the worst dungeon like Diablo style games I've ever played.
I feel like even Darksiders has a higher bar.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think that Darksiders Genesis game is probably going to be more polished, but we should Is it out?
It's out. It's been out for
Okay,
months.
so we should check that out.
I wish there were a cheaper way to try it out. It's like $40 or something still.
Oh.
But yeah, hopefully.
Any
it's on sale.
idea how much Minecraft Dungeons costs if you buy it with money instead of using the game
20.
20? That's it?
Okay.
20. Yeah.
Okay. I was really worried they're going to charge like $30 or $40 for this. 20 is honestly still too much because that price point should not be an excuse for
Quality.
yeah. Like when it's just literally it can't run and it doesn't have content.
Yeah.
It's a Minecraft game. Minecraft is massive. You'd think you want to take care of that IP a little bit better.
You also don't get to really customize your character. You just have this big list of guys to choose from. And then a lot of that doesn't matter either because every new armor just replaces, like, affects the way you look. So really all you're choosing is a face, which is like 5 pixels.
All you're making me think is someone came into the room from Microsoft and said, "We don't care, ship it.
Yeah, that's what it
We
feels
want it out
like.
now."
I don't know why. Like,
That's weird and a shame. You don't even get the impression from this that this is a games as a service thing, you know?
Yeah,
From the way they propped it up before to how the game is when you boot it.
right. Like what I would think is all those shops are random items. You would think that they'd have a thing, here's pay real money for these. But I don't see it.
You just want a gun, man.
What would be worse? What would be worse? They continue to support this, but all the content they add is really, really bad, or they just don't support it anymore at all.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
It's kind of like
if they're going to support it, I feel like they could turn this into something worth playing, but it should not run like this.
It could be a big success story like the Master Chief Collection.
What a success.
what a success story that's been this month.
Yeah. Before I forget,
Mm-hmm.
leveling up
Yeah.
doesn't affect your
Oh.
character in any way.
What?
Leveling up gets you upgrade points for equipment.
But equipment is fungible, and
You destroy the equipment to get the upgrade points
oh
back.
my god!
So you can't even test out a
Okay.
new weapon without destroying the old one to see if that ends up being a better idea.
Bob, this sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
this is so bad. Like I instantly looked at it and could tell, like, oh, this is subpar for what it's going for. You telling me that has made me go, oh, this is a trap.
Yeah. It was,
No, not going near that.
I was trying to find anything else that leveling was getting me, but it was always just an upgrade point. And I couldn't find anything else. Like, no other numbers were going up in regard to that.
God.
It reviewed too well for what you're describing.
I guess I'm just going to have to try it on the Xbox One X and debunk Bob's opinion next week.
I guess so. Maybe we can do 2-player.
Don't try it on PC because if you remove it with add or remove programs, it wipes your entire solid state drive.
Apparently, they fixed that. Or so
Good.
they
They're
said.
already beginning the big Minecraft Dungeon success story.
No longer delete your hard
Step
drive.
1, shit your pants. Step 2, you loudly yell, oops, so everyone notices.
Microsoft on PC, either they'll wipe your hard drive or fill it with shit you can't use.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I played another new release this week,
Yes,
guys.
let's keep moving.
I played Shantae.
Okay,
So did I, so I can talk about this.
cool.
Cool.
I take it you're both playing on PS4 Pro.
Yes.
No, I'm playing on PC.
Okay.
Floppies.
But yeah, it's pretty neat. It's got a trigger opening by the studio Trigger, the anime company, and that's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It has
Is it longer than that one they put out like a year ago or like 6 months ago or whatever?
no, that's it.
Oh, okay.
It is
I
very
was
short.
wondering. Mm-hmm.
It might be longer than that because I haven't watched it in a while, but it is very short. Like, you know.
Yeah, that one was like 25 seconds where it's like, it felt like a short jingle. Like
Yeah,
it didn't
like-
really have time to like get going.
Yeah, they did they used a full song for a trailer and they intercut parts of that trailer with it. But they added a bunch of in-game footage and stuff to fill it out. But yeah, it's just a tiny
okay.
little thing from Trigger. And then surprisingly, it has some like in-game cutscenes that are animated. I don't think those are by Trigger at all. They don't look the same style, but they don't look bad.
Yeah, they aren't.
They're clearly cheaper and simplistic, but they're still pretty nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
How's the game?
The game, I I feel like it doesn't have as strong an opening as Half Genie Hero.
Okay.
Because that really gets you right into the action. Has a cool scene play right away. Whereas this starts with a kind of fetch quest to go find the other genies. Because the whole idea is that 7 half genies have been summoned to this island, or maybe it's 6, something like that.
It's 6.
6. And you go around to find the rest of them on the island to do a little performance right at the beginning, because they all get there, but they all split up. And then the all genies disappear, and Shantae's like, I need to go find them. And it's like Half Genie Hero, where it's like a very linear level structure. This is more like a Metroid style game, like some other older Shantaes, and it has a lot more exploration.
Older ones, yeah.
And it's also got something like enemy souls, say in like Bloodstained or Castlevania.
Oh.
So
I like
called
that
monster cards.
Yeah,
monster cards.
They drop cards like Castlevania.
Circle of the Moon.
Circle of the Moon. Thank you. And you need to collect so many of the cards to unlock the card to be used as your equipable slot. And the cards seem to like one of them makes fireballs move faster. One of them lets you crawl faster.
It has the DSS system.
Yes.
One of them makes food heal you more. One makes you climb ropes faster. And the way it works is like if it's a little shitty enemy like a bat, that'll be everywhere in the entire game. You need 10 of them to use it. You need to pick up 10 cards before you can use it. And but if it's like a real big enemy, you only need 1. And I haven't gotten far enough yet, but I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of trading or fusion because you can pick up more beyond what you need, and it keeps track of them.
Yeah, there's even a guy in town who's like, I have a bunch of cards. I don't want to trade them though.
Yeah, I talked to him as soon as I got some. We're like, can we trade? No.
He has a Shantae t-shirt. It's pretty good.
Yes. He looks like comic book guy.
Yes. But yeah, I'm not very far. How far are you feel? I'm probably I'm
in the first dungeon.
Okay, I got to the end of that dungeon to the boss fight, and I have not even played it yet.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the boss fight yet. Have you noticed that the voice acting is weird?
It is. Shantae talks more than anyone else does for the voice acting.
Yeah, like almost but not every Shantae line is voiced.
Right.
And then like 10% of everyone else's lines are voiced. So it'll be like Shantae is having a conversation. She's entirely voiced. The other person has one voiced line.
Yeah, it made me start accidentally skipping her voice because I just didn't expect it.
That's like the reverse of like when I was playing through Trails of Cold Steel, where your self-insert character is very rarely voiced because it was an expensive Japanese voice actor. So it's just voice acting from another person, and then it's just text.
It's like, it reminds me of like the Yakuza games where they'll switch between pre-rendered cutscene that is fully voiced to like motion comic that is fully voiced to text boxes that are not voiced in the same cutscene.
Yeah, it'll just switch back and forth at random. It's strange. So far, I'm not liking the music as much as I did in Half Genie Hero. I looked it up, and it looks like Vert might not be involved in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that, or just the composer list isn't updated properly on Wikipedia yet.
I really like the first song. I think that one sounds good, but it sounds a little bit like more retro almost.
Yeah, the whole soundtrack feels more retro. Like, that's definitely the feel I got from it too, which is not bad. I just, like, I remember really liking the Half Genie Hero soundtrack. So I was come here and be like, this is okay. Isn't what really I expected.
Yeah. I mean, the soundtrack usually in Shantae games are really good. Way Forward games in general, mostly because of Vert. But
But I'm hoping it gets better very early on in this.
So what's the name of the new one?
7.
Shantae and the 7 Sirens.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Vert isn't credited. That's unfortunate.
And it's weird because he did that Vitamin game they did earlier this year.
I mean, he literally has done every Shantae, as far as I know. So, it's unfortunate.
I wonder what came up.
Oh well.
Phil,
I don't do things that appear on Apple Arcade.
Okay, they answered it. It just says he was not available at the time.
That's rough.
So
that's really rough.
So they got a Japanese composer that worked on a bunch of stuff to do it. And apparently he's best known for chiptunes, which explains like the more retro sound.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Sad.
So how's your experience been overall, feel?
It seems pretty neat. I mean, I'm not very far yet, but except for the weird voice acting thing, this seems to have even higher production value than Half Genie Hero since it didn't have animated cutscenes.
Yeah.
And I'm always interested when they go into like the weird lore of Shantae, like in the one where she goes to the afterlife and meets her father Karnov.
Yes.
Yep.
God damn it.
She's like, it's my dad. He listens to podcasts.
It's a pod lord.
Yeah,
His favorite things are punching, shooting, and climbing ladders.
that Pirate's Curse one was really good. That story-wise, that's probably my favorite.
Pirate's Curse is probably like the best one. Although I haven't gone back and played the 400 different game modes in Half Genie Hero, so maybe that puts that one over the top.
I'm gonna play Half Genie Hero on PS5 alone.
Oh, I should mention that the load times could be bad in this.
Oh, really?
I have
no.
mine is installed on a solid state drive, and it's still like 5 to 10 seconds on sometimes. I'm like, and Dan has ruined me, so every single time it's like, come on, PS5, need to hurry up and get here.
I do Let's Plays a lot. Anytime a load screen pops up, I'm like, PS5 is going to be instant, folks. It's just going to be a PNG for like half a second.
That's a whole year of content ruined when the new consoles come out and just take forever.
Yeah, and every time, I think one of the times I mentioned it, and I go, I swear to God, if Dan was wrong.
What? I didn't say old games were going to load in half a second. I said Kingdom Hearts might finish before I die of old age.
I think it's just this game though, because like I have Wonderful 101 on the same hard drive, and it pops up with its load screen minigame and then instantly closes before you can move.
Yeah, I have mine even on a regular hard drive for 101, and it does that as well. It seems like Shantae does this thing where it's fine in a single area, but you're going to a new area, it has to do a loading, and it does it. It takes longer than you think.
It's like it needed the Symphony of the Night hallways.
Right.
That's fucking crazy because the joke I was making
which it has, but they're not used for loading.
The reason why I said I was going to play Half Genie Hero on the PS5 is because it does have some frame rate problems.
Yeah, which this doesn't seem to.
Well, that's good.
It seems really smooth on the PS4 Pro.
I'm really curious if it's going to look real good upscaling to 4K.
Yeah, I think they said it was a 4K resolution art assets on Wikipedia.
Okay, good.
I mean, that's cool as hell, man.
I mean, it definitely looks really clear right now. So that's
no. From across this room, I'm saying you play that. It looks sharp.
I'm playing on 1440p, and it looks real good.
I worry that since the whole idea is it's structured like a more Metroid style game, and it seems like it's all going to be about exploring this dungeon that's under the island they've been summoned to, that we might see something like all the aesthetic for the whole dungeon is very similar. Hopefully it doesn't fall into that.
Hopefully all the dungeons in like the old ones mostly looked the same though, so I think it's probably going to be structured more like Risky's Revenge, where it's like a unique area, then a dungeon that isn't that different from the others, then a unique area, then another dungeon.
As long as we get unique areas, I'll be happy.
Bob's like, the game runs great on PS4 Pro, and I'm like, that I don't know what that means for me.
Right?
I'm on vanilla.
You're right. I know. I had to put that in there just so people knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah, it really does feel like that this year.
Yes. I don't really have anything else to say about Shantae. Do you feel?
Nah.
Okay. I booted up Skullgirls more. They put in more colors for all the characters. They all have new color palettes and are really good. Go buy that game. It's like $1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's literally on sale for $2 right now.
It's Diva Arabella. It's really good.
Correct.
An enlightened pick.
I mean, that game's really great. It has tons of great colors and things.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that Eliza had a Dio collar. She apparently had it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really strong.
It's It's okay. She's just incredibly powerful in Egypt and maybe can't die.
No similarities, though.
None. Yeah, Skullgirls is great. You guys should get that. Even on PS4, that thing loads insanely fast. What a great game.
See, I also booted up Mortal Kombat 11.
One thing, I always have to throw this out there for Skullgirls. It does one of my favorite things where if you select random level and you do a match against a friend, it goes to a random level every time you rematch.
It even works online. I was doing that today. It's great.
That helps so much. It's
That's
great.
so smart.
Yeah, it is.
And it can load it fast enough so you don't even notice. It's just like, oh, it's a new level, it's a new song, it's great.
You know, kind of like, normal AAA fighting games could potentially do next gen.
Yeah.
Ed Boon seemed pretty excited over that. Jeff Keighley asked him, "Hey,
just wait, just wait."
asked him what he was excited
It's in
about.
the news.
Okay, fine.
Hey, KZ, I played Mortal Kombat 11. I need to talk about this right now.
Uh-oh.
I went to an arcade match.
Yeah.
Got to the end, fight Chronica.
Uh-huh.
It's literally, like, you can tell what Ed Boon wants. That level, like, that stage you fight her on, tries to do stage switching mid-fight. And it has to, like, do these awkward cutscenes in the middle of the fight.
Oh yeah, because that happens in the story mode too. Like if you lose a round, you get warped to the edge of creation.
Yeah, and then if you win a round, you go to, like, a prehistoric time. It's really good. And clearly there could be a lot more of that and a lot more characters switching on the fly. And that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to make.
Yeah. Also, I assume at some point in time, Ed Boon wants to bring back Shang Tsung correctly.
Yes. Instead of the compromise edition that they've had since PS2, basically.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about Mortal Kombat 11. I've tried all the friendships. They're pretty funny.
They're funny. Yeah. It's good stuff. I don't like NetherRealm fighters, but I respect them.
Right.
So I didn't even play it. I just watched Bob. And I was like, all right. I gotta get back to work on this video that'll piss people off because I'm spouting the controversial opinion that maybe 15% isn't a big number.
When you win as RoboCop, he just arrests you.
Depends on who you play.
Oh, no.
Don't pick Jax.
He just goes dead or alive and then shoots you.
God. Okay.
His
This is fucked up. He's special forces. He's also basically a cop.
Yes.
It doesn't stop him. It doesn't protect him.
RoboCop's gone rampant.
They're just gonna repeat the iconic lines from Mortal Kombat 4 of "This is a brutality." No, it's not. It's a fatality. And then Jax drops the dude off the cliff.
Oh man, that was a good ending. Mortal Kombat 4 had some of the funniest shit in the whole series in it.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Like that part where, what was it? I think it was Scorpion explodes. God, what's the name of that?
Sub-Zero's laying on the ground, shaking his arm at Scorpion, and then I think Quan Chi runs up and punches Scorpion once and he explodes.
That does happen.
What about the one where Scorpion traps Quan Chi back in NetherRealm and he just screams, "Oh!"
Yeah, that was incredible. There's one where Scorpion or Sub-Zero blows up Quan Chi for the other one, and he goes, "Congratulations, we are on even ground again. I respect you as a warrior." And then it starts fading to black, and the other one goes, "All right."
All of the endings of just have, all right. It's really good.
Funniest shit in the world.
I think they go to the Elder Gods and like, "Thank you, Elder Gods." And they're like, all right.
Yes. God.
Mortal Kombat 4 might be the peak of all arcade games because I now follow the Twitter account that I did not know existed that is titled "Daily Pics of Quan Chi from the Mortal Kombat 4 Arcade Cabinet." And it is exactly what you expect.
It's really good. Yes.
That reminds me, at some point, I don't think within this update, they added a level that's like an arcade. And you have
that's new.
You have a stage fatality where they just pick up an arcade cabinet and toss it on top of the enemy and they get crushed.
Oh, that's physically accurate.
Yes, their legs like popped off. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah, I saw a trailer where it was just, oh no, they killed Barack or Shang Tsung, crushing him with the Deadly Alliance arcade cabinet.
So that was fun.
Which I don't think there is an arcade cabinet for that game, so that's
No.
a double joke.
There isn't. I'm trying to. Is that all you played, Bob?
Unfortunately not. I also played Phantasy Star.
You mean Phantasy Star Online 2?
Phantasy Star Online 2. I'm one of the chosen by God. I was able to install it.
Bob's one of the chosen people. He wrote a red X on his door, then they let him install it.
It's a brand new release. It came out July 4th, 2012.
That can't be right.
So, KZ, I hear you're also one of the chosen?
Yeah, I woke up the morning it came out, and
He woke up to justice.
let me describe my experience here.
Okay.
Where I'm like, okay, they were being pretty harsh about it, but it's like, whatever. We've experienced the things Microsoft does. This can't be that bad. And I open it and I go, I can't find it. And I spent about 7 or 8 minutes going, I can't find it here on this Xbox beta app, because this has to be the Windows Store, right?
You fool.
And then I Googled it and found out there's a real Windows Store app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And the entire time where I'm like, these idiots, fucking the Xbox beta app sucks, but it's not as bad as their, and then I find it and I see the game there, and it has a cartoon-like get button because it's free. I click it and it basically says no. And it does that 3 or 4 times over 5 minutes. I refresh one more time, I click it, and it downloads and it works fine.
Cool. I have other friends where they clicked it and it said fuck you and nothing happened from there.
I have over 15 people I follow in some way have gotten fucked by that.
Don't worry, KZ. I hit it the first time and it worked, so obviously they're all making it up.
Yeah.
Okay. It's impossible. Seeing people with really terrible internet also having to deal with trying to get this, when it's like, it's 11 gigs, but then the 2003 splash screen launcher thing that they have downloads another like 60 gigs or some shit. It's like, that's rough. I saw some people who just couldn't get the Windows Store thing to work at all. So what they did was they downloaded the Japanese client, went into the INI file and changed it to NA, and then that made it work.
Oof, why? Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, people just pointed out a 4chan thread where people figured out the workaround.
Great.
But I have noticed more and more people have finally started to prevail.
That game seems neat. It shouldn't be a nightmare to get in there. Also,
yeah.
It's still very much a game from 2012.
I mean, yeah.
Lots of classes to choose from, though.
It's got that content. They built up a lot of content.
Yeah. I will not play this legitimately until it hits PlayStation. I just cannot deal with this.
That's also me. I'll probably put 20 hours and then never touch it again until it's on PS4. But still,
I start doing it. And I'm like, I'm not. I also mine is stuck in windowed mode. I cannot figure out how to make it full screen.
Did you go to the launcher to set it to not be windowed? Because it's not in the game.
Of course, it's not in the game. It's in the launcher.
Yeah, because it's the launcher, like a mid-2000s game. So you go into the settings in the launcher and then you select borderless window, but you have to be in windowed first, then select your resolution and then borderless window. Because if you do it in the opposite order, they gray out the resolution options. because this launcher really makes you wish Ragnarok Online was still around.
Great. What a successful launch on PC they've had.
I played like an hour today, finally. Because I just started to make a character the day before, but I was busy with other stuff. Yeah, this game's great. I really enjoy the combat. Playing as the weapon that's just shoes. So
are you
hover boots.
Are you a bouncer?
Yes, I am the bouncer class.
Okay,
smart.
I'm a robot bouncer class. So I'm like the cast race, and one of your attack buttons is just that move Tifa does in FF7 Remake, where she just teleports around and does 85 kicks in 3 seconds. So you just have a move like that. It's not even a cooldown. You just keep mashing it. But it has a really cool timing system like the originals, where it's like a circle shrinks as you deal attacks, and if you press it at the right time, you do better. And that also happens when you dodge, so you can come out of a dodge with a strong attack.
Huh.
And also a button that changes your stance, so you get different stuff. Like there's a gun blade where it'll do a combo and then do a bullet at the end, but if you stance change, you just shoot.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was specific to my class or anything, because I chose the hunter, I think it was, because they had a katana.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the timing-based stuff, and then a bow and arrow, and then the gunblade. So I guess some weapons overlap.
Yeah, they you can pick up whatever weapon and you can seemingly switch to them. I just think you get better stats depending on what class you chose. But they also say you can change your class whenever.
Huh.
So they're like, whatever, do whatever you want here.
That's good. That's the sort of thing you need in a game that's supposed to be eternal, because this game has been going since what'd you say? 2012?
2012. Back in 2012 when they're like, we're localizing this, it's coming soon. And then they just stopped talking about it.
And Eric died.
And then Microsoft brought it out on a system where it's like already a nightmare and makes PC gaming harder than it already is. And then Eric just said,
Unless proven otherwise, Phil Spencer paid $55 million to have timed exclusivity on an MMO from 8 years ago.
Look, Eric's obviously a man who is very patient. He has gained that over these 8 years of waiting for the game. He can wait another 2 years for PlayStation.
True. Or 6 months, which is way more likely.
Or 2 months, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I played one more game, guys.
What?
Yeah, Dan insisted I play this one. I wasn't going to touch it. I was not. I had no intention of playing this, but Dan's like, you should play The Cycle.
Yes. Yes, I had to remind Bob
The
of
what?
The Cycle.
The what?
The Cycle.
Oh no, is this one of those we named a game bad?
Yes. I think this is my fault because I brought it up in the fucking Discord.
Yes, I
was like, Bob downloaded that. I think he talked about that on Big Think, and me and Bob talked about it, and we're not sure that he did. So he played it. How was The Cycle, Bob? The free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter with a unique mix of PvP and PvE available now on the Epic Game Store.
The Cycle is a bad game with a bunch of random concepts showed together, but it's still way better than Crucible.
I looked at it, and the way you move and aim and shoot and shit looked remotely correct, so I'm going to have to agree with you there.
It also has a system that the Crucible claimed it had, but didn't.
What?
Yeah, because the Crucible, in that mode where you're doing 2 versus 2 versus 2 or whatever,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you need to form alliances on the fly. But there's no system to do that. It's just like, oh, you have to decide. You have to somehow not communicate.
You can't even communicate to people on your own team, let alone on other teams, because you can't type or use voice chat in the Crucible, in Crucible. So you're telling me they have a system for this?
In The Cycle.
In The Cycle,
you just you point at a guy. You could be shooting at each other, but if you hit T button, it's just like it asks if they want to form an alliance.
Oh my God, that's great.
And then they just confirm it. And then you guys are a team.
And that works.
So yeah, I went around with some other dude that was trying to kill me.
I like that.
And it worked out. And it has a lot more smart design than Crucible ever has had, because it's just like, okay, there's all these other people on this big map, and your whole idea is there's materials to gather, and the winner is the person who earn the most points by completing objectives. So your objectives are things like grabbing materials, turning on power generators, killing enemies. And it's not a thing where, everyone's going to ball up and just go for this one objective because there's only one thing that matters. Everything matters. So it's a lot of like trying to avoid other teams and collect stuff. It's a neat idea. I feel like that it might not be balanced in a way that makes any sense. Like, I think that leveling up literally lets you start with better items, because I ran into a guy real near start and he just had a gun that was triple shot where I was doing single shots. And was like, this is completely unfair. So as long as that's not the case and he just somehow mined stuff real quick and was able to get that out.
Yeah. If that's the case.
Yeah, then it's a neat concept. I think it's a lot more legitimately realized than the other one.
I mean, Crucible doesn't even feel like a fucking shooter that came out in the last 10 years.
No.
Like, if you can't look at gameplay of that and see that it doesn't look right for a fucking shooter, I don't even know, man. Like, it basically is like, in all of my experience playing it and me watching other people play it, Crucible skips pixels so you can't aim at certain levels. The entire thing's jerky no matter how well your game runs. The thing is just shit. So I'm really glad you played the Cycle.
Cycle does have a really weird thing at the start of each match. Maybe I just don't understand it, but it loads up this elaborate room with all these like landing pods, and then it just then loads again into the open world, which seems completely disconnected from that landing pod area. Like there's no smooth transition.
Yeah.
Like you can walk up to the pods, they open. It doesn't seem like getting in them determines anything. You don't actually have an animation to get in them, so you're just kind of standing next to one and then you're on the planet. It's weird. I don't know why that's there. I think it's just because there's like, in PUBG where you're all spawned in and before you get on the bus or before you get on the plane. They just want to have that, but they couldn't figure out how to contextualize it.
Well, I'm really glad you could give us the deep down on the Cycle. I'm sure a lot of people have been wondering about that game.
Let's check how many Twitch viewers it has right now.
Oh, sure. Okay, one moment.
Okay, then we can check Crucible and compare them.
Sounds great.
Let me look those up so you guys can guess.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna guess for Cycle.
What are we doing first?
Okay,
for the Cycle. We'll start with the Cycle.
Okay. I'm gonna guess that it's at 1,500 people.
I'm going to guess that the Cycle is at 600 people.
Feel.
I've never heard of this game until someone told me it existed 2 days ago. I think it's only on Epic. I'm going to say 50.
Okay, I almost read you the followers just now. 29. 29 viewers.
29 viewers. Oh, man.
I was about to say, you idiots, it's 17,000. That's followers of the game. There are 29 viewers right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I overestimated that like crazy. My bad.
Dan.
Wow.
Dan.
Yeah.
How about the Crucible? Or Crucible, I'm sorry. How many viewers do you think?
See, they were going to call it the Crucible, but then Justin Timberlake told them to drop the.
Shut the fuck up. I need an answer.
Fuck. Crucible. Okay, this is it. This is the moment. Because we were supposed to look up how many people were playing it, right? That's what we were gonna do.
No, we were
gonna look up Twitch because we looked that up
Okay.
last week.
Okay. Does anyone remember what last week was?
It was like 10,000
like
last week.
12,000. It was like 12,000.
That was like launch day.
Yeah, launch day, so it actually was over 10K.
I'm gonna say 2,400.
Okay. Feel.
I'm gonna say 1,200, 10% of what it was last week.
Bob.
I'm gonna say 1,000.
You all overbid. 870.
Wow. Goodbye.
God, I looked at it yesterday, guys.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Goodbye.
For people don't realize, that game is published by Amazon. I only knew it existed because they threw it on Amazon's front page for me.
I knew it was dire when by the time that we got the podcast out, people were posting how many viewers it had, and it was already down to a 10th.
Jesus.
Top 3 streamers, 164, 148, 57.
That's
in terms
dire.
of viewer counts.
I mean, that game's real jank.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, I'm not saying it feels like a game from 10 years ago to be funny. I'm saying it because it's true.
I feel like it's more than 10 years.
Feels thing on the Cycle now that I scrolled up is actually pretty good. Is there a term for dying sooner than dead on arrival?
Yeah, because technically Cycle is still in beta. I think Crucible is too.
It's the equivalent of, like, instead of giving someone a pinata,
Crucible ain't real.
Instead of giving someone a pinata, you just ejected paper and candy out of a gun.
These early access fucking releases are such a bad idea. I don't know why fucking studios keep doing them. It's like, let's suck out any hype our release could have.
Well, it worked for Fortnite. Clearly, it'll work for them.
It's sorta out, but not really.
The Fortnite one's hilarious because Fortnite came out and it was just failing, and then they stole PUBG and then they won.
Yep.
And then they said, hey, PUBG, show us your game and we'll tell you how to make it run better. We'll make ours run better and not tell them for 6 months.
Yeah.
I looked at footage of PUBG recently, like a stream, and went, why is the game still look and run like that?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's kind of
Wow.
I felt like looking up
Yeah.
Valorant because we were talking about that. That one's still
What's up with Valorant?
it's only at 3,000. I guess
Well, I didn't even know it was out. It's still
not
in like,
out.
the super closed beta
it's
form.
right, but now they don't have the reason for people to be watching of trying
What?
to get in the beta.
Oh, how does that work, Bob?
I talked about this last week. I'm not going over it again. It's over.
Yeah, we're not doing it again.
I'm going to be playing it next week, and then if we're doing
That's what you think. All you're going to unlock is a login screen, which is in fact another envelope through which you can watch streams and hope to get in.
Oh no!
I had to hear someone yell racist things for 2 hours to be able to play.
But it was worth it to get this game so I could go online and get teabagged.
Sounds tempting.
Yes, a real powerful proposition.
Bob, did you play anything else?
I did
No,
not.
he's done. He's out of here. KZ, what you been playing?
I played all of Sakura Wars over the course of 6.5 days.
Good lord!
Fuck! Everyone's like, why does KZ sound so tired? Oh, this isn't KZ. This is a comically small skeleton. That used to be KZ.
So I tried my best when you guys talked about it, when you played a little bit of it, but to avoid the substance stuff of like, here's situations in the game, to try and keep myself fresh. But I do remember Bob said something of a worry that it's like there's a lot of visual novel in this and not a lot of the combat gameplay. So you kind of like stopped playing it a little bit because you were concerned, kind of wanted to get into the more of the combat, I guess. Yeah, you're right. There's very little combat in that at all.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I'm not surprised.
The structure in that is basically you go through the you run around the hubs because you unlock numerous additional areas to kind of run around and talk to people in. But eventually you'll reach the end point of a chapter, and then that's your combat thing. That's usually like 45 minutes long. Occasionally they'll do raids, which is you getting texted on your little beeper thing, because it's only one way. You only receive messages. And then that makes you do a combat thing that is at most 90 seconds long. It is like 2 waves of enemies. You're done. You're out. They rank you for some reason on those. I don't know why. Combat in that is acceptable. That's the only way I could describe it, because it's not
not
good.
Dynasty
It's not
Warriors.
good. It's not even like cool Dynasty Warriors in it at all. It's just like, clearly the appeal here is not the combat at all.
Great.
And they make sure that you aren't going to hate yourself, because this might be the easiest game I've ever played. Like, the mechanics they give you make that game so pitiful. One time I beat one of the chapter end bosses in 15 seconds.
What?
Because I just went, I'm going to press the team attack button that plays an anime cutscene that is a comedy bit between 2 characters. That sets it. Yeah, that is also hilarious, where they're like, here's team attacks where you get one of them per mission, and you and that person get a damage buff for 20 seconds. And you press it, it cuts to anime, and it does just a comedy bit. And it was just 2 characters just sitting down on a bench looking up at the stars, and they're like, that's the Kamiyama constellation. It's just the main character's face made out of stars.
I thought that would happen in the game, not in the combat scenario. What in the world?
I know. And all of them are incredible. And then I get that buff, and then I use one of their supers, and I melt through whatever boss it is. It's no part of that is difficult. But for the most part, the combat is like serviceable in the fact that you're not really having too much trouble. But anytime they're like, for this section, you're going to be platforming, and there are a couple of enemies here. I'm like, okay, then this game went down a couple of points. I'm falling into pits. This doesn't necessarily feel good. This game has like the Bayonetta dodge, perfect dodge system, but will never actually feel good because you feel like you have to face fuck an enemy before you're dodging, and their tells are kind of bad. So I kind of just walk up to an enemy and dodge front and back over and over again till they shoot me. And it kind of works. But it's cool because sometimes on like the medium enemies, when you do that, a little triangle button appears and then you slice them in half and the camera angle like changes. And it's like cool instant kill. But yeah, that part's okay. The main bulk of the game, which is you going and doing dialogue choices, and you hope you get the chimes that say that yes, that character liked that. Real fun. This might be one of the funniest games I played this gen, because some of these choices go places where they commit to bits in these that I did not expect. There's one where you're hanging out with a character with the most incredible side boob I've ever seen, and you're just chilling out. You're looking at stars up in the sky, and one of your dialogue choices is commenting about those, and one of them's like commenting about her, and the main character says, "It is so beautiful. I could just spend the night counting these stars," and then. You know, that we pass through that. She starts talking to you for about 45 seconds. Cuts back to the main character. He's going, 1,143. And it's like, oh yeah, he was counting this entire time, those stars. He meant it when he was talking about it. And there's a lot of like really good comedy bits where they commit incredibly hard to everything. And I think my favorite thing is that you have choices in the game that are based on analog. So if you push the stick in really hard, you have a really passionate response, or if it's really low, it's an impassionate response. So I just picked the highest setting every time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you encounter any point where the highest setting wasn't the best option?
It's the funniest section, because sometimes you'll be in the mascot costume. Which the entire game no one actually knows it's you in there. I'm glad they commit to that bit. And the main girl's like, I'm having some real trouble. I'm talking to Peanut here, and it's like, I should motivate her. And I pull the stick all the way up to do an elephant noise, and it zooms out as it screams, and she just hops backward 15 times. Before going, what the fuck, Peanut? Why are you screaming? The voice actors in this are incredible. They act their asses off. The animations for like the characters really dynamic. There's I went up to the door of the ninja girl, and you knock on her door, and she's like, what's the password? And it's like a riddle. And I picked the right answer, and it starts cutting away, and you see the main character dancing and celebrating as if he won the lottery. Not saying anything though, but he's just so pumped that he got it right. But yeah, I don't have much else to say besides I think this game's fantastic in terms of the writing stuff in that, in terms of just engaging with the characters. All of the fan service stuff in this is peak mid-2000s comedy anime.
Yeah, I think that I know that too, of like this is just a harem anime from late 90s, early 2000s.
It's like a harem anime where I feel like it's almost impossible to like get anything out of it, where it's just like, oh, at most there's like bath scenes, but even that's not like a super high fan servicey thing. It didn't feel like I was engaging in smut with anything, though I do like that there's so many moments where you can select something and it's like, oh no, this is about to transition to Kamiyama, the main character, is becoming horny and he can't control himself. So sometimes you have to pick the choice that keeps his dick under control.
Is it like the optional scenes in Danganronpa games where the main character suddenly becomes wildly out of character to be horny?
Yes, but this, it feels like it's his devil trigger. Because it happens regularly enough that it's just like, oh, I'm going into the bath scene here. I'm gonna go and peep on Sakura in the bathhouse, and you walk in, And she's like, what the fuck's going on? And it's like, am I dreaming? And then I pick the response, you are dreaming. And she's like, oh my God, this is a dream. I can't believe I thought he'd do this. I feel so bad. And then she almost starts crying, and then you leave and you get away with it. Nothing bad happens.
What?
Okay, I put this on the shelf. I have to go back to this.
Yeah, this might be top 3 game of the year for me because I just had so much fun with this. It was so hilarious. But yeah, that's all I played.
Phil, what did you play?
Okay, let's start with the one that hurts. I said on Twitter this week that I played a game that I could only describe as if the Game Center CX DS games were made by John Green.
All right.
I stand by that description. The game is called 1980X.
Oh, this isn't a good first step.
I have no idea how I acquired this game. It was just in my Steam library.
Oh.
I assume I got it from a bundle at some point. Or it came from like the Humble Monthly thing because I subscribed to that.
Right, I assume it's something like that.
Yeah, I was like, this came out last year.
This is a wholly sprite artwork game about a child maybe having personal problems, maybe, sort of. It's not very unclear. Told to you as they play what are supposed to be 80s arcade games, but all of them are bad and look wrong.
I think I saw this advertised at some point.
So the game opens with a beat 'em up S segment that looks horrible and feels worse. First of all the sprites are wrong. Like they did that thing where we want to be cool and not like hold ourselves to anything remotely similar to the limitations these systems had. So everything looks wrong. Like it has too much colors and it's too detailed.
I love fake retro pixel art.
But you start with the worst beat 'em up gameplay in the history of humanity. I honestly think Renegade on the NES is a better game than this beat 'em up.
I don't even know what that is.
They didn't want because there's first of all there's it's like the Game Center CX3 DS games. There's multiple games. Guess how many are in this $10 game?
5.
KZ's right. There's 5. Also, you can't replay them. There's not like a mini.
I never win anything.
They're given to you as part of the story.
Oh,
which is fine because you wouldn't want to play them because they're all fucking horrible.
You know, and indie dev trying to make 5 different styles of games based on classic games that are amazing. There's like no way that can turn out well.
They made 2 enemies for this beat 'em up thing and just changed their palettes a bunch of times, which is fine. They gave each enemy 1 attack. That attack always knocks you over because they didn't want to give you like a stunned sprite and a knockdown sprite. Most enemies have longer reach than you. Luckily, you can't die because this is the intro of the game. You can't game over. You can just continue forever. Because this feels fucking horrible. So you finish that, and then you get the unbelievably melodramatic and uninteresting thing about the girl ? Protagonist, because it's voiced. This game's story is voiced, and it's like
oh no,
her inner monologue. It's her inner monologue. That's the only voice.
How is it?
Monologue. I mean, I can't tell if it's a girl because it looks like Marty McFly.
I see that.
But
it looks like
it's a female voice.
Were a Persona 2 character.
Like, but it's a female voice, so I have no idea. And I don't know if there's, and also this game is 50 minutes long. The story gets to like where they would show the title card of a movie and is then over. So the main character is depressed, and then they find a dingy arcade. And then you play a really bad space shooter segment. And then they talk about how they're bored in the suburbs, and then you play a really bad Outrun clone. And then they talk about how they want to fuck this goth chick at school. And you play a game that I guess is supposed to be Strider, but it's like an infinite runner and is really bad and goes on 4 times longer than it should. And then you find out that maybe their dad divorced their mom, and maybe their mom is overprotective, and you play a wireframe first-person RPG where the boss seems to be their mom, but all the assets are really detailed in high definition, so it looks completely wrong, and I don't even know what arcade game this is supposed to be. And then when you think something is going to happen, it's over. This was miserable and sucks.
Sounds it.
Glad you continue to culture yourself.
It has some decent music though. You want to listen to that on YouTube. After that, I played Assault Spy, which is a PC game. Nipponichi Software of America localized it. I put localized in quotations because this is like a Dojin game almost, so it's a real rough localization. It's basically.
I played this one last year when it came out.
It's like one tier of money above. What the fuck is that game called? Mitsurugi Kamui Hike.
Oh, that, yeah.
Which is the which is basically just an indie, like a Dojin dev made. I want to make a version of Bloody Palace where you play as Virgil, but Virgil's a schoolgirl.
Whenever you say like Dojin game, I just think of that one porn game, Rants, the Rants series. Yeah. Okay.
But this is a little bit more high end. Basically, it's an action game like Devil May Cry. It's like obviously very inspired by Devil May Cry. It has rankings. You have Prop Shredder. You have Round Trip. Except you're a corporate spy who is a salary man. So instead of a sword, he uses his briefcase. And instead of a gun, you throw exploding business cards.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Did you play as the
Did
other
they
character at
show
all?
this anywhere?
No, because it's not on consoles, not yet at least.
It got advertised a little bit when it launched. I remember seeing a trailer for some reason other than I looked up a trailer.
Yeah, I think I saw it at some event or something like this.
It would have been at like an anime con, I think.
Okay.
Like I imagine it would have been one of like their anime expo streams. The story is really funny. Also, the voice acting, which is only in Japanese, they didn't fucking give this thing a dub, is also really funny. The story is insane.
Yes.
Which is just, I'm a corporate spy. I'm gonna spy on this company. Oh, it's being taken over by terrorists who want to use its robots to rule the world. I guess I better kick the shit out of them.
Raw.
And you have to fight the 4 officer robots. That the
4 kings.
Yes, but they're like comedy robots. They're named Officer Diamond, Spade, Club, and Heart, because they're based on card suits. And they look really cool, but they're all like joke characters. And there's always this bit before you fight them, where it's like, this one's power is it's super precise, and then it makes an origami crane. But then the protagonist makes a better crane, and the robot gets upset.
God, that's stupid.
Or it's like, this robot has incredible social skills, and then it compliments the evil secretary, who, by the way, has a great design. All the designs in this are really good. I don't know who did the art or the designs, because it isn't in the credits, but they did fantastic work on all the characters. But then it can't figure out a way to compliment the protagonist and just shuts down. And then you have to fight it. But it's full of stuff like that. And then the final boss is a guy named Mr. Showtime.
Yes.
Who looks like a stage magician and has like evil anime white eyes. And you beat the shit out of him, and he just hovers in the air and regains all his health. And the predator goes, "What the fuck? I thought I beat him. His health went down." And the scientist character who's helping you just says, "He must be using a power that's beyond human comprehension."
Of course.
So you have to use your because you have a devil trigger, which is like a time stopwatch that throws everybody into super slow motion and you move super fast. It's like I guess I better use that to beat the shit out of him 1,000 times in 1 second so he can't regenerate. And then when you beat it, you unlock the second character, which plays entirely differently.
Yeah,
who is a hyper American CIA agent who has a hype meter, which is also electricity. She's like the way she plays is like if Captain Commando was in a character action game. One of her moves is literally Captain Corridor.
Yeah, when I was playing it, I would compare her more to a almost a Ninja Gaiden-like system behind some of her moves, because she doesn't have nearly as much air combo stuff, but there is also the hype meter stuff.
And then like she's more about blocking and parrying than dodging, because the other character, the main guy, has witch time, sort of. But she doesn't. She has a parry, and most of her moves eat enemy attacks.
I need to go back to it now that she's like fully in the game.
She'll do like her super hype punch, and it will block an enemy attack. I wanted to run a bit and say this has more enemies than DMC Devil May Cry. Sadly, it doesn't. It has 2 fewer, but 4 more bosses.
Yeah, I was like, there are more bosses, that's for sure, and I feel like that counts.
But yeah, I really recommend this. I think it's $20 on Steam. Like the localization is obviously cheap, but everything else is real good. Like it's great. I hope they polish it up some more and put it on consoles.
Yeah,
I really had fun with it.
It would be nice if that came to consoles.
There's a part where there's a level on a roof, and the first thing that happens is the assistant character, who is like a hyper annoying bitch girl who's constantly mocking the protagonist, just shoves him off the building, and he falls screaming. But then it like cuts, and it was like, I imagined she shoved me off, and your science character says, well, don't make that reality. He just randomly imagines her murdering him.
Well, she is absolutely terrible, so yeah.
She is terrible. And I think the second character has an entirely new story, and I thought it was going to be happening at the same time as the main guys, because she shows up from time to time in it. No, it's apparently just a weird alternate reality. It's really funny. I liked it a lot. I'm not finished with the second story mode. I only finished the first character story mode.
I was going to say, I don't know if they've rebalanced her at all since I did the, because I played as her when they were basically first put her in the game. If you get her type meter all the way up, her ultimate attack basically wipes everything. Like, it'll just clear an entire room of guys.
It does a lot, but to get the full room clear, you have to use her like Super America mode, which is her devil trigger.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty neat. Trying to think if I played anything else this week. No, I did not.
Cool. I actually did play a game. One.
Damn, I was hoping people were going to be able to fill in that box.
Nope. I gotcha.
You played Halo Reach, right?
I mean, yeah, I did that too. We played through Halo Reach last Friday. That VOD should hit before this does on the YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/GigaBoots, because we're going apparently into DK month.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/Voxandra.
She's like, please stop. I played Ring Fit. Ring Fit Adventures is still a really great game. There's a reason it made my list.
Did you die?
It hurt a fuckload, man. You don't take time for that game and come back and be like, yeah, only lower the difficulty slightly. It'll be fine.
Do 40 squats.
So here's the fucked up thing. Day one, I hit the squat level where it's just like squat enemies, squat movement, squat obstacle course. Fuck you, squats. And I'm like, oh, this is a nightmare. I need to not do this tomorrow so I can play again, and then I'll take a break after that, to stick to the upper body exercises. Day two, skill tree unlocks. What do you mean there's a skill tree in this game? A giant grid of choices to upgrade your character appears. Some of them are moves. And there are question marks all over the board. And I sit there and say to myself, okay, I'm going to get this attack up and I'm going to get this defense up. And then I'll figure things out from there. And after I get the defense up, a squat move appears that does an insane amount of damage and hits 3 enemies. Overhead squats. You have to hold the ring completely straight above your head as you slowly do squats up and down. Does a fucking disgusting amount of damage, but it's just like, hey Dan, don't you want to be strong? And I'm just crying blood, and I'm like, yes.
This is why I can't this is why I wasn't able to watch much of the
Gamer Gone Rip series.
Yeah, I was about to say, what is your show called? Getting Big?
Yes, Gamer Get Big, much funny, go burr.
yeah, Gamer Get Big, go burr, much fun. I couldn't watch those much because I'm like, this is self-harm.
Self-improvement, it's really great. Ignore my pained screams. It's perfectly normal. That game is really fucking good. I still haven't had an opportunity to check out the rhythm mode. I am taking 2 days off from it. I thought I was only going to take 1, but I got really busy working on stuff for the channel. That's why the mailbag didn't come out on Thursday. But yeah, no,
it's a good one.
Ring Fit's really, yeah, it is actually. I've been cracking up a lot while editing it.
We never make a bad one.
But yeah, Ring Fit's really fantastic. It's a really, really enjoyable game, and I wish more people had the opportunity to just check it out even. The skill tree thing just radically improves and changes everything just from the angle of, like, you can upgrade certain types of attacks to have a random chance to do a follow-up attack. You can upgrade to get more defense or an additional skill slot so you can bring more exercises into battle. There's of course the equipment system, which I already unlocked before I stopped playing, where, you can buff certain types of attacks, and the smoothie system where you do the same thing. You can drink smoothies to strengthen. So what I'm saying is I got the overhead squats, and I drink, a blueberry smoothie or a grape smoothie every time. So that way I'm doing massive amounts of damage with my squats, because if I should be in pain, the enemy should be fucking dead. Like, I don't want to be in pain and then it's like, oh, it survived this round, you got to do it again. No, fuck that. That's terrible. Ring Fit's so fun. It's so fucking good. That's why I played that instead of Minecraft Dungeons. But apparently I'm going to play Minecraft Dungeons before next week. Unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I just need to know if it looks that fucking bad.
Not Trials of Mana, though.
Not Trials of
Mana. No time for that.
No. Why would I play Trials of Mana for 30 minutes? Why would I do that? Who does that?
Hey, if you play 30 minutes of Minecraft Dungeons, that's a sixth of the game.
Exactly. That's value. But yeah, no. Ring Fit Adventure, really great. Weirdly enough, one of the best Switch games last year, in my opinion. I will probably start streaming that again soon. I just needed a few days of doing it without streaming it because it is rough as hell. I finished doing that, right? I did that first day and that second day. And mostly after the first day, I sat there and I was like, man, I really need like a fun fitness game that's like upper body only. And I kept thinking about that. And the second day I played Ring Fit. I was like, God, yeah, no, it'd be really great if I just had something like that. And we were setting up for the podcast earlier, and I went, you dumb bastard, you owned that boxing game. Remember fitness boxing? We still haven't tried that, Bob.
It's true. It's just sitting there.
God, such a dumb asshole. Anyways, I'm going to be checking out fitness boxing sometime soon. It's actually pretty well received for a fitness game, let alone boxing game. That's pretty hype. So I'm going to be playing those two games leading up to the release of that game I'm never going to remember the name of. What the fuck was it? Bob mentioned it earlier. Clubhouse Games?
I think that's right.
Yeah, Clubhouse Games 51 Classics.
It's really fucked up that it's like, hey, Dan, what are you playing on your Switch? I'm playing these two fitness games in a card game.
You're gonna play that Clubhouse stuff with me?
Yes.
I already have it preloaded.
Absolutely, man. I'm actually genuinely hyped for that.
I have it preloaded, so I dropped the $40 on it. Spent $110 on new Joy-Cons. We're ready to go.
Oh, I'm gonna barf. Oh man,
Oof.
that's
$150 for Clubhouse games, essentially.
Did you buy that from the merchant in Resident Evil 4? Like,
Yeah, I was going in there hoping to get the Red 9, but instead he gave me this.
but instead he sold you it at a nice price. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, that's a great game. Really hyped. But we need that's all the games we've played this week, so I guess we got to talk about the Podlords.
Oh God. Oh, hey Podlords. I'm gonna look at you and not at the time.
Yes, that'd be smart.
You just got to handle this the way I'm handling theme months. Vox was like, hey, would you like to do this sort of stream? And I said, the only way I'm getting through DK month is by assuming I'll be dead by the end of it.
That's been me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, just keep playing Sakura Wars. It'll be funny if you get the Let's Play done, but also so you can announce that you played it in 6 days on a podcast.
That has some real. I didn't have anything to do this weekend, so I played all of Horizon Zero Dawn energy.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as Danny Richardson, E. Lee Broyles, Virgil Busey. Oh my God. I don't.
Okay.
Busey!
Bleach.
Bossy.
Nice.
Okay. Nice hits.
Good.
It's got a really good body. It's not a very hot drink.
Dank Mormons.
Combine it with your hot chocolate to make Podlord mocha.
Not Gak. Red Blaze 27. The Dead Koch brother. Oh shit.
Is it Adam Sessler?
No, it just says that name. It doesn't have a picture. That name's horrifying. It's a lot.
Thank you for not including a picture.
Feel you, coward. Eat best girl Irma's fingernail cookies and make her cannon. What the fuck have you summoned into this podcast?
We'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
You're not gonna remember fingernail cookies.
Yes, I will, because that's when I'll be done with that game and be able to talk about it.
Emperor Zero. Shibuya Gato taking yet more soul damage as Feel approaches the end of V3. She has a superimposed chat surrounding her hauntingly.
Everybody send Shibuya Gato your thanks for moderating that nightmare.
Or just send her a gun. That'll help her out with the chat. A Draco. Foolishness, Dante. Reddit Gold controls everything.
Is it
fucking-
DMC the DMC Virgil?
Yes.
Yeah!
Of course.
Is it terrible that I believe that man would say that?
I mean, he has a fedora, a trench coat, and uses his katana as a walking cane. If Ninja Theory were even the slightest bit self-aware, I'd think it was hilarious.
Yeah. Lady Popscorn.
An atmospheric horror adventure by M Software.
Involving snacks and teeth.
Somber teeth. Tapestry.
Dentistry?
Yes.
You don't have to point it out every week. We could get away from it.
Gene, the racist.
Oof.
Remember that time when Simon Belmont tore off Donkey Kong's toenail? There's no image.
Yeah, I do.
I really wish
It
I
was
did.
very good.
No, it wasn't.
You scream. No!
Yeah, no, that was terrible. That was terrible. Just like our next Podlord. Sometimes the Busey stand feels partially responsible for the number of Podlord trademark picture jokes. Thanks for the extra effort, guys. And that is a gift, and you guys are lucky you do not get the gift. Because I have been staring at this
Oh, hold on. GIF icons work?
Yeah, they apparently work.
All right. Person who asked me on Twitter this week, there's your answer.
No, they don't. Dan's lying.
101 Shades of Wonderful. WTF Spider-Man. Stay Home. Chad. Unknown Artwork. Just when you thought Microsoft was content with losing, Phil Spencer reveals his true form in the Xbox Series K.
God.
Carnop, the bold future.
Day one purchase.
Shantae's dad really getting the work on.
Yeah, he's making that velocity architecture sing.
Badass.
Kyo from Danganronpa V3 has appeared to tell Mr. Field that he has seed his last saw. Would it be his last? No.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
I'm not gonna ask.
No, it wouldn't.
I'm not gonna ask.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna worry. Believe me, this is the last thing I'm losing sleep over. I'll sit there and lose sleep over. They're shipping a box that just says Xbox, but this ain't registering
Please,
shit.
let's buy
0. I've got nothing, so here's a friendly horse. That horse does not
Don't
look
put that in the
friendly.
video. It's the horse from Berserk. Don't put it in the video, Casey.
I assumed he wasn't gonna put it in the video.
Okay, I was about to ask, is this that horse?
It is that horse.
Of course.
That horse. I've known for years I knew nothing about Berserk
except
Yeah.
a horse is a horse, of course.
I had to put that there because I had to look at it. I'm not saying you need to edit it in. The closer the PS5 reveal gets, the stronger Dan becomes. And that's a really good muscle suit.
Dan, you're gonna become a Sony fanboy. No, I won't. My heart's too strong.
My heart's too strong.
The longer Dan is on Earth, the more powerful he becomes.
DFW3K wonders if Bleach Soon Boyos just forgot their password or something. Muckbine. Volta.
I don't know if I can handle the podlords talking to each other in their things. I don't know if I'm ready.
It's like setting away statuses on AIM. Voltic EXE gives King K Rojo ready to steal the Crystal Coconut and DK Month's Cursed Content Club Donkey Kong Country Part 2. This was word salad is what this was. Shiny Mew used teleport. Shiny Mew wound up in the big think dimension.
Oh, no.
It's floating in a plasma ball.
Of course.
It's in there.
Yeah, it could be like Danger Route.
It's trapped in there with Tim Sweeney's popcorn chicken. Santi Kunai.
Love it. Love popcorn chicken.
It was pretty good. Chase Ray. KC.
Yes?
No, it's a C.
Oh.
It's very different.
Oh, okay.
It will give you confidence at work, home, social situations, etc. No one knows it's a J.O. crystal, but you and your bros.
Oh my god.
I do not need Tanaka to sell me a jack-off crystal.
That is the DMC necklace.
Hey, I heard you can buy some from this dude. It's only on Sundays, though, in the afternoon.
You will be able to buy a J.O. crystal from Tanaka when Kodaka, the writer of Danganronpa, gets to write Persona 6.
Don't wish that on them.
I'm gonna throw up in your mouth.
That will also happen when he does that.
No!
A menacing Tonberry that was hired just in time for DK month. Also, yes, that's a real shirt.
Look at that shirt.
All the donators are just like, yeah, use the knife.
I'm trying to read it, and it says, like, face a world of trouble.
I would be honest, I can't really read it. But
He's got an expansion pack in his hand instead of the knife.
oh my god!
Oh, you're in for it now.
He's coming. No, it's fine. He's coming to save Dobo in that content we haven't released yet.
Yes.
Good.
I forgot to change my name. Ooh woo. I'm okay with this. Toad's Tombs. Oh, here we go again with this mess. Spambon Sakura Kageyoshi. And you saw
God,
the
it's
image
still
last week.
there.
We're not doing it again. Sean Gibbons.
It's a normal.
Yeah, it's normal. Thank you. We take those here.
Yeah, we do.
Keemstar, when the nuclear winter hits.
Let's get a ride into the car.
You don't have to cut this in. I just.
Thank you.
Oh my
Bill.
God, that's
You
the
found
image.
it.
Why? All that I'm getting from this is why is Lanky Kong so big? He's not that big in the game.
No, he's not.
Feel.
That's a bad T-shirt.
Feel.
But where?
We have to find the shirt and send it to them.
No. Buy Cheez-Its to win a trip to the Overwatch League 2020 Grand Finals.
No, that got canceled.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll get uncanceled if you buy more Cheez-Its, you unappreciative shit.
I did. I bought 2 boxes today, extra toasty and the hot and spicy.
Oh my God.
Oh, I forgot to buy Chex Mix to get extra Chex Quest characters.
Oh my God. Okay. Adam Admar is blasting off to strike the evil Bido Empire.
I bought cashews.
Skyfire Hero just watched Beastars with his mom. So what's next? Bleach or Code Chaos?
We already answered that.
It's true. The Haunting Specter of the Inevitable Sazai-san podcast.
I don't even
That's
know
one
what
of
that
those shows
is.
that doesn't end. That's one of those like Japanese TV animation shows.
It's like Doraemon.
Yeah, it's like one of those because I like looking at Anime News Network and it's always at the top.
As of right now, there is more than 2,500 episodes. Ooh. Wikipedia doesn't even have an exact number. They're like, we gave up.
Lamu. There is no bit. Die! Favorite Podlord image this week.
Is that the countdown?
No, that.
Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe it is. Maybe that was the countdown. Who was the countdown? I think the countdown was that. It was a countdown to a
Thank
transparent
God.
PNG background?
No fucking way.
That's really good.
No way.
That's funny as shit. KZ, captain of the 11th division of Gigasoul Society. And Kyle
I'll
Bjork.
take it.
Thank you very much to our exhausting list of Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords. Remember, folks, we're only slightly more than 200 Podlords away from the Naruto podcast.
That's all.
And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon
Shut the
at
fuck up.
patreon.com/GB podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits, such as cursed content commentary tracks, where we commentate whatever horrible thing we watch in that episode we put up. Cursed Content by Committee, the Patreon exclusive show, where you vote on what horrible thing we watch and commentate. Early access to Mondo Cool and Chugging Bleach, our anime podcast. Extended armchair dev pitches, where we actually get to list our ideas. And other benefits, maybe. That's patreon.com/GB podcast.
And now we can finally
Thank
get
you.
into the
Thank
gaming news.
Mm-hmm.
In tonight's
Wait.
news... What? What's that?
We're forgetting something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bob had that new segment of the week. Bob, you said an incredibly cursed thing earlier. Would you like to say it now?
Sure, I'll put that curse thought into the universe. Bob! All right. So, how much, or who wants to bet this will happen? A game is going to come out for next gen. The file size will be smaller than a current gen game. And a company, a
journalist.
A journalist will say that clearly that game is a lesser game because of that. That game is not next gen because it's only 30 gigabytes.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't think Phil said yes. I thought he said death.
I mean, that too. That also.
His words said one thing. His tone said another. We need a timeline on this. When's the cutoff date? Is it by the end of 2021?
I was going to say by the end of April next year, but yeah, sure. We can extend it all the way to 2021.
Okay, by the end of 2021, will that happen? I'm going to say no, unless somebody listening to this podcast tries really hard to get a job writing somewhere.
I'm honestly
say
going to
yes.
say yes.
Oh my God, I'm the only one.
You're denying what you know is true to have hope.
I would like to think downgrade culture.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. It'll be written by Windows Central.
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah,
Bob's framing.
if the Xbox has got a
large-
100 gigabyte one and the
Yeah.
PlayStation has a 50 gigabyte one, clearly that game is bad.
Right. That's the thing. So that will happen. But it being smaller than last gen and them being like, well, clearly the next gen version is a downgrade. I don't think that'll happen. It will absolutely be the case that if some game comes out on the PS5 and it's 70 gigs instead of like 80, you bet your ass someone's going to be like, it's because the textures are smaller because it's only got 9 teraflops per gig of shit.
Stop talking about your teraflops and giga shit.
You know, you bet your ass that's going to happen. I'm gonna be honest. I've just been. I don't have an insane reply of the week. It's mostly been incredibly hilariously bad YouTube comments because we released an episode of the Rant Is Go where I had the radical statement of 15% isn't a big number. You can't radically do a different.
We already proved it's 45,000% more powerful than PS5. We already confirmed that episodes ago.
Look, the icon. The longer the icon of Phil Spencer is on Earth, the more powerful it becomes. I understand.
No, see the
Yes.
no, see the PS5 is gonna win because the longer the icon of CERN is on Earth, the more powerful it becomes.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
It's just Mark Cerny in a bathtub. The bathtub has feet and is walking.
There will be no tutorial with a video telling you how to defeat Mark Cerny. So you'll never take him down.
Yeah, no, it's impossible.
Antonio Banderas will be there to stop you after all.
Yes. Oh, I don't need that. Oh no. Oh no, Antonio Banderas Marauder.
That's hilarious.
Oh no.
That's really good.
You tell him he was in Spy Kids and he just evaporates.
Who's the dog in this situation?
I don't know.
Knack. The dog just has Knack's head.
But yeah, I'm not going to do an insane reply of the week. The closest thing we got this week is within 6 hours, 7 hours of that video going up, somebody uploaded the whole thing as 4 parts on Twitter. And then they tagged me too. They were like, it's this guy's video. I stole his video.
God, what?
I actually...
Twitter owns sometimes, huh?
So here's the funniest part. I didn't tell anyone this. This is a Big Think exclusive. After I pointed out that they probably should have stolen my video and then not linked to the video at all. And then someone else went, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. They took your whole video. They messaged me, go, I apologize in advance. That's not in advance.
No, what?
That's in
No,
retrograde.
it's apologizing when you get caught.
It's a completely different thing.
Thieves of future past.
Oh shit, I didn't think about that. What if he sent Wolverine back in time to take my contact? Man, it really makes you think. Just like I'm sure.
Whatever, it's fair use.
Yeah, it's fair use because they said my name. Yep. So yeah, there you go. That's the closest we're getting. Let's get to the news.
Sure.
I guess I missed the announcement of this. There's no BlizzCon this year.
No, they're like, we're doing a digital event at some point in the first half of next year. They're probably like, good. Somebody would have tripped over their balls and accidentally advocated police brutality or something. Like, good. We don't have to deal with that this year.
I think the only good... I'm now realizing I did see this announcement because I saw a fairly funny reply where someone was like, they love China so much they should deny it exists and then throw the convention anyways and invite everyone. And I'm like, this is a nightmare. Thank you, Twitter. Twitter's a really good place to go to see nightmares.
Somebody is just standing in front of Diva's mech defiantly. Like a bird's eye shot.
KZ.
Yes.
I noticed you got the Jeff Keighley news of the week. Let's break it down.
Okay, first up, a couple days after Big Think's recording, there was the announcement of a Mortal Kombat 11 interview showing off like a friendship. Most importantly, I've written here, Ed Boon turns to stone in Mortal Kombat 11 interview when Jeff mentions the Xbox Series X. Would you like to dig into that real quick?
So there's a moment... God, it's hard to phrase exactly how this goes because you don't want to exaggerate it. You don't want to.
We got so excited at this news where I'm like, I'm putting it in the notes, dude.
It was just funny as shit the way it comes across tonally. But there's an interview with Ed Boon where they're just talking about stuff, and then they start talking about, hey, the next gen consoles, just like with Unreal Engine 5, the huge bandwidth must be really exciting for you guys too. And Ed Boon's like, yeah, it's really exciting, or actually, no, he was like, what was the most exciting thing about next gen consoles? Ed Boon's like, oh yeah, this huge bandwidth stuff, how fast it can load things, loading screens going away. And then Jeff Keighley goes, yeah, but not just, they showed off Unreal Engine 5 on the PS5, but you don't mean just on the PS5, you mean the Xbox Series X as well, right? And Ed Boon does just the most awkward nod where he's like, yes, of course.
He says nothing. He slowly nods while his eyes keep deviating.
It's like you described it to me. And I didn't see it, so I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna watch it now, and it hit like a truck. Or I'm like, oh man, it's like he's being interrogated, and he did it.
The paranoid part of my brain is like, does this imply anything? I don't want to believe it implies anything because I want to believe the Velocity architecture is gonna live up to its name. And it's going to keep speed roughly in as much as the numbers portray so far with the PS5, I hope to God. Because if it doesn't, God damn it. But yeah, no, that was a pretty cool video. I enjoyed listening to Ed Boon talk about all that stuff. What is this Day of the Devs?
Day of the Devs is something that I Am 8-Bit and Double Fine do, and they're like partnering with, they're partnering with Summer Games Fest. It's going to be a developer showcase highlighting upcoming indie and AAA games, including stuff from Annapurna Interactive, the Behemoth, which I think is the studio where it's the people from Newgrounds.
Yes,
make games.
That's correct.
Yeah, Skybound Games. Team 17, that game company. They got a few. It's I wouldn't say it's like super huge, but they did announce that they're doing 2 showcases on June 22nd and July 20th.
That's got to be better than that recent indie direct. That was
the Wholesome Direct.
Yes, the Wholesome Direct. I actually watched a chunk of that. Did anyone else?
No.
It is the worst part of every conference combined into a single thing.
Good.
There is no gameplay. Die.
Segregate all of that into one awful thing.
Yeah, you separate it like separating the way from the rest of it,
And then steal the branding from Nintendo.
and then you call yourself wholesome Direct because you love wholesome memes.
All that made me go is like, is this the Soft Boys Nintendo Direct? Are they going to have to make an apology later?
Yeah, this is not swell.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I have here is League of Legends Wild Rift is getting a gameplay reveal tomorrow, which it will have already happened by then.
Which
Bob?
What is
League of Legends Wild Rift?
Yeah.
I looked at it today, so I know it's the one. It's something to do with that katana wielding wind guy. I don't even know his name.
No,
upon reading it, this is League of Legends, but for mobile and consoles.
Yeah, so they're changing things about it so it'll work on those platforms.
That's why it has a different name.
Wait, so it's old? It's regular League of Legends? I thought this was something that
it's just retooled.
I assume it's going to have new assets also, so it won't look embarrassing.
It's a League of Legends game that you'll be able to play on something other than a computer.
Yeah,
neat. I guess we'll have to check that out.
I like League, all right. It's pretty fun. Here's a picture for the people here. Yeah, as you can see, it's League, but different.
I'll try it at least once. I'll try it at least once on the PS5.
Yeah. If you dumb assholes do not have a moo in at launch, I swear to God, I will find you.
Phil, I'm starting to not trust your I'll play this on PS5. I think the list is getting long enough.
I play a lot of things, Casey.
Okay, you're right. You fucking played that. You play a lot of bad shit, so I'm willing to believe you, I guess. All right. Well, that's all the Jeff news.
Oh, cool.
Of the week.
It's a pretty good week for Jeff's, I think. Okay, we gotta talk about the Xbox news that isn't news.
All right, so they were talking up some major news. I'll just go through the bullet points as fast as possible. Thousands of games will be available at launch through backwards compatibility. They can add HDR to these games. Some of them will run at 120 frames a second, I guess. There's their news.
So here's the thing. We literally knew all of this to the point where I said, hey, this doubling the frame rate from 60 to 120, that's completely new, but the rest of this we already knew. Digital Foundry replied to me on Twitter and said, actually, we already knew that too. Here's the screen cap of our article from months ago, and I fucking died!
Yeah, that's real bad.
But the one positive thing to come out of it is, I think Richard Ledbetter runs the main Digital Foundry account. He assured me the HDR thing looks pretty good. Like, because they're using AI to make games before HDR existed run in HDR. And for those who remember, we're going to get Fusion Frenzy in HDR, so please be excited.
Maybe
Fusion Frenzy, HDR, 120 frames a second.
Oh, God.
probably.
That would be fucking hilarious. Actually, that game may only be 30, so.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can just make it go 4 times faster.
I mean, that game's not exactly intense. What else do we have going on?
I still think it's hilarious that they're bragging about having that many games available at launch. It's like, but they're all old.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it owns Sony because people think that you'll only be able to play like 100 PS4 games on a PS5.
Sony was unclear. If you're a fucking illiterate who doesn't listen to what they people say,
Xbox doesn't have boost mode.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing that happened is on Twitter they made a tweet promoting this blog post they made, and that is literally one of the things in the tweet, and I'm like, that is so confusingly phrased. Their social media manager is the worst I've seen for a game company ever. For example,
That social media manager is trying to appeal to gamers, right?
yes,
That know about boost mode on PS5 and know that that's a jab, but those should know that that Xbox has no game.
so like the thing is, like, when people know what boost mode is on PS4 Pro, they think what Xbox just advertised is that the new Xbox won't run old games better, even though that's the exact opposite of what that means. To the point where I saw that guy who hacked Bloodborne to run at 60 frames per second go, wait, it won't run those games better? Why are you advertising this? I'm like, oh my God. This is the same social media manager who made the fantastic YouTube community post of clanging battle sounds in asterisks. Minecraft Dungeons is out now. But yeah, no, they make fantastic. Whoa, the tweet they made was even more desperate. It's like, please follow us for anime games.
Oh God. What?
that make like they have to mean Kakarot, which makes no sense.
Or One Punch Man.
No,
Please follow us for games that are multi-plat.
And it's like, why would I follow your Twitter account because I like anime? This is such a sad fucking tweet.
we bought Sega.
We can't.
But yeah, no, that they need a new social media manager. Swinging to the positive end of the spectrum, the Tetris Effects OST, its soundtrack, is now available on Bandcamp. That soundtrack's pretty fucking good. I enjoy it. You can go over there and listen to it yourself and see whether or not it's something you're interested in. But I'm glad they made the effort to make it a proper soundtrack available separately from playing the game, even though it is a really great experience playing the game and transformative doing that. So it was around this time, and this isn't a bit, I swear to God. It was about this time reading that this OST came out when I realized the PS4 got its own special Tetris. The Switch got its own special Tetris. One platform this gen didn't.
Well, what about that Ubisoft Tetris game that was multiplat? That was fine, right? Tetris Ult?
No, that was not fine. My grandfather cackled at how bad that was. Yeah.
What else we got?
And then I immediately went, why haven't they made a new Hexic? They own that IP.
You remember Hexic, they don't.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Remember that time we paid the creator of Tetris to make us a game?
And then we never re-released it or made another.
God.
We got him to make a puzzle game, one of the best there is. And then we just went, no, we don't care. What a fucking shame. Anyways, some news came out. Elena Pierce was on Kinda Funny Games doing like a podcast interview sort of thing. And she talked about Sony had some marketing plans with partners lined up and various things for streams all throughout this year to date. And they chose to not do it ultimately because they didn't want to have that at-home pre-recorded quality, in her words. And they wanted to do something bigger. Sony literally hit the eject button when they went, wait, we might look like this Microsoft stuff. Oh, hell no. We are launching the PS5. That is not good enough.
No.
And honestly, they're right.
Yeah, the Xbox, like those things have looked so bad.
They look like a first-time live streamer a lot of the time.
Feel I'm gonna die.
I'm sure it'll be okay, KZ. No, it won't.
There's some Sony news. Oh, I got Sony news.
No, you don't. You shut your... What?
This
Post
week,
it.
and please God, just show the PS5 news. PlayStation Days of Play 2020 is happening June 13th through the June 3rd through the 15th in North America, May 25th through June 8th in Europe.
Little advisor on that. This is one of the 2 times of the year that PlayStation Plus goes on sale. If you want to get it now, or get it when that happens, when it goes down.
Don't buy a PS4 though. You might want to buy PS4 games, but don't buy a PS4.
Yeah. You could even buy, like, if you don't have a PlayStation yet, you could even buy a code now and not redeem it until you have the PlayStation. Just saying.
So, we've been like, when is this PS5 event happening? When are they going to finally just put the bullet in it? Mm-hmm. You've got people like VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb, who put up their like spreadsheet of all the events. It's like early June, soon, maybe, I don't know. And then people ask, it's like, is it going to be after this date? Is it before this date? And they're just doing that. And then Jason Schreier's like, fuck off, it's coming out on the 3rd.
Yeah, Randall Weems said it was the 3rd.
Yeah, Randall Weems. And then a couple other reports from different sites corroborated that unless Sony changes their plan, June 3rd, we're getting a PlayStation 5 reveal that's not going to show everything, but it's going to show some games. Quick editor's note, Randall Weems was wrong, and they're doing it on the 4th, a day after that, on podcast recording day. I'm going to die. Show you a machine, and I think it was, I forget his name, is like an analyst, Mochizuki?
Yeah, Takashi Mochizuki. Yeah.
Yes, he said that they're definitely doing it soon because they're starting mass production and they don't want the look to leak.
So I expect that to happen by Tuesday. like that's how the controller
one day
went.
before, they're gonna get so fucking mad.
Like Nintendo, Sony with the controller literally did it before anyone knew they were going to do it, just to prevent leaks. This console's going to be the same thing. A fucking article's going to drop and you're going to see a tweet linking to it. And then it's going to have 12 million likes on every platform. And then people are going to go, I don't know. Who cares?
It was probably not then.
Bad strategy. They just dropped it on the PlayStation blog at 11:30 a.m.
Oh, this sucks. I hope they don't announce the price, because if this shit goes up to pre-orders, no store is open because of the fucking global catastrophe. I'll be stuck refreshing pages.
It's okay. If your local GameStop is still open at all, you can go in with a gift card you buy from Winn-Dixie.
Put this down on Dead Island 2.
Actually,
Please,
they might
ma'am.
be able to let people in now, because my state halfway opens on the 1st.
I see.
And then everybody dies and it recloses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
God. That's how it goes. That's the cycle. Man. Bob, we need positive news. Tell me about the state of play we watched the other
That's all positive, Dan!
What are you talking about? It's a swan song for the PS4. It's a huge game. Naughty gods.
I heard that Ellie shoots an arrow at a man's head and it graphically explodes.
A lot happened by the end of that. I kind of
Yeah,
I
think that's how they actually ended one part of it, where she has like an explosive barrel and shoots at his head and it cuts.
Yeah,
that's right.
Where they talk about how you get to customize your weapons and make them part of your own story.
It's that state.
I don't need that. That's like that when they were showing off Destiny, and they're like, every gun has its own story. It's like, no, it doesn't. You found it in that cave.
Not even every game you shipped has its own story, you fuck.
I liked reading the descriptions on the guns, but yeah, no, they don't have their own story.
No, they don't.
Because of world events, ex-CEO Kaz Hirai has been on Twitter. is still posting things. The Last of Us Part 2 is set in a post-apocalyptic world where the most valuable currency is PS Vita memory cards.
Obviously. I mean, I thought that was obvious when playing Last of Us 1.
That's just the world we live in, honestly, if you want to get down to it.
Right.
The state of play was the worst. Nothing I saw convinced me to play this game in the least. I am only buying this and playing it out of brute force, fueled by curiosity.
Oh, that's the best ones.
Didn't Dr. Aggro tweet or like message you something about his opinion of purchasing this game?
Yes, Dr. Aggro privately messaged me the exact feeling they had and why they wouldn't, and it's right on the money. I don't think there's anything artistically interesting about the world this is trying to craft. I don't think the tone of the story is especially compelling, and I think that you really miss the mark when this is the follow-up to The Last of Us 1, but I'm going to have more to say about it after we play it and then do Armchair Dev's The Last of Us Part 3.
You know, I looking at this game's footage, either I was wrong in my relatively charitable interpretation of The Last of Us 1, because I've defended the ending of that game from a lot of people.
Yes.
Or this is the worst marketed game in human history. And I really am starting to think it is not the latter. I was just wrong about the first one.
No, the first one had two directors and one left.
I mean, even that aside, the first game has tone and balance in that tone and nuance in the storytelling. Everything about this marketing is like if you ripped all of the meaning and complexity out of the ending. And it was nothing but the ending of one for hours straight. That is what this game looks like.
Ellie grabs a lady just playing her Vita. Cuts her throat.
That was the funniest. That was a hilarious scene where I'm like, all right, I guess I have to watch this now because everyone's talking about a Vita. It's like she's just playing it, and like she interrogates her, and then it's like, okay, everything's fine. But then the woman tries to attack Ellie, and then she gets stabbed in the neck and starts wriggling and bleeding out in the background. I'm like, this is awful. In other news, Hotline Miami is just in The Last of Us 2, I guess.
Yep.
And then their official account tweeted saying, Hotline Miami available for the PlayStation Vita.
Do you think
it's often on sale during that day?
Yeah.
Do you think Ellie will drown an entire civilization and go tell a gravestone that she hopes they won't be mad at her for committing genocide? Like
Okay, here's how far gone this analogy is. Ender is a more likable and fucking philanthropic human being by any measure compared to fucking Ellie at this point.
It's a game about hate.
The trailer for this is literally like, this is the people who run the city of Seattle. There are two different factions. This is what they believe in. They just want you to not be here. And then Ellie just kills a shitload of them. Like,
they played that cutscene from years ago where
with the clipper wings.
I heard the clipper wings and I just started cackling. I'm like, yeah, that thing we say.
that awful thing that's already been insulted by other games. I think that's the funniest part.
Yeah, no, when the guy who makes, what was it,
Rick and
Morty already shipped a VR game making fun of clipper wings.
I mean, even when it first when they first showed that trailer, the weird stunned silence from the audience.
Yeah. No, that trailer's bad. That's a bad, pretentious trailer.
I think like last week, Neil Druckmann did an interview where he said, I'm not sure anyone will like this game but me.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm watching all the material. I expected the marketing for this to take a turn where they showed us more about the story that made us understand what's happening and relate. That hasn't occurred.
We have a few months left, right?
We have weeks. It's the marketing at no point has changed. This game is the clip her wings game. I thought that was a bad showing. It was not. It was a very telling showing. And I'm going to play this game, and I'm going to hope for the best, and I'm going to hope that it has an impactful story, and what its choices it's made are really important and heavy and well considered. But it does not appear that at any fucking level.
This is like when Kojima said his game would suck for 10 hours.
No, this is like when Kojima said that we would rue the words and deeds over fucking...
Yeah, that is much more what I'm feeling.
Okay. I was just saying, comparing it to the Neil Druckmann thing of the only person who's going to like it is me. And Kojima saying, Death Stranding, people probably won't have fun for the first 10 hours. Only Death Stranding, I liked that game. And this, I don't know. This really turned me off, but I feel like I should probably play both of them in one go. I should just shotgun the first one and immediately jump into the second one and see the pure experience that would do.
I mean, I'm not playing this at launch, so I'll let Dan tell me if there's any reason I should ever play this. And secondly, I remember how the first game played on the PS3. PS5.
God damn it, that won't fix it. That won't make it feel better.
No, I'm saying if you come and say, no, it actually has something of value, I'll just play it on the PS5, because I remember how bad the first one ran on the PS3.
I thought you were saying...
It was never turn your light on unless you want the frame rate to go to 12.
But yeah, my hopes are low for this game, but I'm going to try my best to just give it a chance. So...
Yeah, I want it to be good. Like, I think that it's neat to have, like, all the stealth elements there look like they're solid and well put together, but it seems just dire.
Look,
story-wise.
Druckmann just binged Only God Forgives before writing this script over a weekend while high off his fucking ass.
I tweeted about this and people were like, but it's a revenge story. This is how it is. And it's like, no, that's not how revenge stories are.
She's revenging every last human.
Right? Like, what are you talking about? Like, John Wick is him murdering random people.
all I get from what I saw of this state of play is like, God, where are my fucking words? They left me. Never mind.
All right. But we should move on.
Sure.
Feel free. Look forward to our impressions. The first big thing that's recorded after that releases. Good Lord.
I have some actual good news here if you want me to talk about that.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. Go ahead.
Yes, it's actually getting a localization. It was confirmed by IGN. It showed up on one of their coming games things of, hey,
this is how we find out they're localizing it, is they just listed on like June 9th or something, trailer for 13 Sentinels.
Right, reveal for 13 Sentinels. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm really glad that's coming.
I will buy it either way, but please also localize Princess Crown to do that.
Yeah, no, we would like to have a localization of Princess Crown before the heat death of the universe. That would be convenient. Thank you.
Also, this is a fully visual novel game. Please dub it. Good Lord.
I mean, that would be nice.
As Yoko Taro said, Vanillaware is a treasure we must protect. Buy their game.
Was Dragon's Crown dubbed?
Yeah. Their games have pretty much all been dubbed over here.
Okay, so I don't see why they wouldn't, but who knows if it has like 80 hours of speech.
Right. I don't know.
And
if
the
this
genre
is brought
might
over
be...
by Atlas again, then it's up in the air. Because, like, Sakura Wars should have been dubbed. Like, that's just silly that it wasn't. It's like, this is our big push to try it in the US. Yeah, we're not going to try.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It's one of the few games where a Japanese performance actually did comedy that I could actually, like, go, yeah, this is working. But I wish there was a dub. Dub by Ocean Group.
Let's keep with the positive news. KZ, can you tell me about your last bullet?
Oh, my last bullet. Let me scroll down. Dead by Daylight, out of nowhere, just said, yeah, we've got Silent Hill content coming in the form of Pyramid Head as one of the killers, and Heather Mason from Silent Hill 3. And that's already in the game in their test servers on Steam.
Nice.
And I think it's like a couple of weeks from now they'll be putting it out.
Yeah, they had a hype-ass trailer to go with this. It was very cool.
Yeah, and they got the real Pyramid Head, because in later designs it's an actual like pyramid triangle instead of the stupid flat-headed one from 2, because that's the one we want.
Yeah,
if you're going to use one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They brought back the composer for Silent Hill to do a Dead by Daylight theme, and they're like, hey, the Facebook and all the accounts for Silent Hill have updated stuff, and yeah, that PS5 game is probably real.
Probably, yeah.
and this is called Ramping Up.
I really hope that if that PS5 game is real, they hired Blue Point to do an actual fucking remaster of those games, because I want to play them, but it's hard.
Well, it's really about how hard it is to play being in a mechanical message. It's storytelling through mechanics.
The storytelling through mechanics of that remaster where the fog don't work.
Look, I can buy that maybe your movement isn't great being a message. The Comic Sans in that PS3 remaster, no, that was not.
Oh, that remaster's a nightmare. The use Comic Sans.
It's the worst. Tell me about this week in creative decisions.
So Ubisoft is claiming that Assassin's Creed Valhalla running at 30 frames a second is a creative decision. A fucking despicable and laughable lie I thought had died 7 years ago. Fuck you, Ubisoft. You're dipshits.
Yeah, as he has written here, and this is his only news that's in all caps, Ubisoft says Valhalla running at 30 FPS is a creative decision. Dipshit alert. Wee woo, wee woo.
A very succinct summary.
I'll kill my last news bullet real quick. We'll wipe that out.
That's some bullshit. That's not a creative decision. No one ever creatively said. It never is.
It was never a creative decision ever.
The weirdest part is like now seems like it would be the perfect time to make your game just run well, because it's like, oh, you can on the next gen system it just runs well.
Is Valhalla cross-gen?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna run at like 4 frames a second on the original Xbox One.
I'm sure it'll run all right on modern systems, and then on the next gen systems it'll get like all these visual upgrades and like 10 more frames a second maybe. And it's like, I could have done without all of the visual upgrades if I got 60. I'd like you to do everything in your power to make your game feel better.
No.
Yeah, that's weird. Like they hired the input latency guy and then it's like 30 frames.
Well, you didn't have enough time to tell them no.
That's true. So maybe next time.
My number one touchstone right now mentally for Valhalla is every time someone goes, hey, what if that runs better on the PS5 and I just start developing an ulcer?
Yeah, they were only talking about the Xbox. Right.
Yeah, where I made the joke that it runs at 60 on there.
Yeah, no, that's not funny.
Oh, okay.
If the entire point of the Xbox Series X is that it's the most powerful, best experience, and it comes in a giant box and it has all these thermal requirements, and if it doesn't run games the best, I'm going to be upset because I'm buying that box later this year.
Dan, they have never once said it's the best experience. They've said it's the most powerful. That's it. It's big and strong.
It's the most powerful.
Talk about your news.
No, he said he was cutting it.
No, I didn't. I said I was going to say it and therefore get it off the list. Because I'm actually excited about this news. Infinity Strash, yes, it's Strash, not Slash. Infinity Strash, Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai is announced, which is based on the manga I talked about in like episode 3 of Big Think Dimension, Dai no Daiboken, Dai's Big Adventure. They're doing
the main character of Jump Force.
Yes, that they put into Jump Force. They're doing a new anime, so they're making a game. It looks okay. I'm hoping it's polished up a little bit before it releases, because it looks a little bit janky, but nothing about it sets off horrible warning bells.
Empire shit.
It looks
They're
really
doing, like,
wonky.
some media empire stuff for the the adventure of Die stuff, because
it's really popular in Japan.
Oh, okay, because they put them in Jump Force. They're doing the anime. I was up and I just had it in another tab, the Japanese live stream where they announced this stuff, where they opened it like, we've got 3 game projects. Here's our mobile game made by DNA, and it looked bad. And then they're like, here's our big game, an arcade game where you pick up real life cards like Dragon Ball Heroes and put them on a grid on a machine. And then this, where it's like this is the game that's the least far along, but it's a PS4 game.
I'm excited for people to watch that anime and learn all the things that every PlayStation 1 RPG took from this series. And also also all the things Dragon Quest adopted after the series came out.
Bob,
Yeah.
I see you have 1 bullet left, and it starts with Street Fighter V, and I cannot imagine in my brain any reason we want to talk about that. But tell me, what is the deal with Street Fighter V?
Street Fighter V is doing one final season, Season V, or Season 5. It's going to have 5 characters and 3 stages.
All right.
This is only because the Champion Edition did so well, apparently. Apparently this wasn't going to happen.
They specifically called it out, saying that Championship Edition did so well and was received so well, they're doing a Season V with V more characters and 3 stages.
And the last one will be Ducapri.
God, I hope not. Anyone else? DiCaprio's hardly a character. She's a reskin.
When's Ingrid?
But they are also doing a character or costume design contest. And you can enter that now. And I think it goes to like July or something. Check out the website if you want to do that. I know we have a lot of artists who follow the channel, so maybe somebody wants to get in on that. Maybe get their design in the game.
I definitely didn't expect this after they brought in Seth.
Yeah, no, that really felt like this is the end of it. They weren't even going to do a champion tournament for next year for it. So I thought there was just a new Street Fighter on the way.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Because one, they just put out a reissue of the game that has all the stuff, but no longer has all the stuff because they're doing anot's season.
Right.
Yeah.
And the last character that they've revealed is one of those ones that, to my understanding, has moves from other characters. Do you like get moves depending on who you're fighting?
If you use Seth's V trigger on them, no, their V skill, the thing that you can use at any time. You steal one of their moves.
That's the kind of thing you do when you're at the end of development, so you don't have to go back and add stuff to this character later.
Yeah.
It's just like Kirby. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
We only have a few news stories left, so I'll get the one I promised someone I would do out of the way. Because I heard some people really think highly of his work, and I figured I would level the playing field here. Jim Sterling's latest video fucking sucks shit. Basically, it is him being a giant crybaby bitch boy, complaining about the fact that Sony's E3 2005 conference lied to him, so the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo must also be lies. He is in the same camp of people as Linus Tech Tips, where they go, Tim Sweeney, you're rich, so why are you lying right now? Not at all open to the opinion that maybe Tim Sweeney isn't lying right now. Maybe not everything is lies because of the Killzone 3 trailer from 2005. Stop being a loud, annoying little bitch. Your video is truly terrible. You're just sitting there grousing and making channel awesome tier jokes for 23 minutes. It was absolutely terrible. Do some
That's all of
fucking
his
research.
videos.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch his shit, but apparently that's his brand. That's the whole thing.
His brand is, I'm cynical. I will only talk about microtransactions and other bad gaming news after I read Reddit to see what they thought first.
He has to make sure everybody's mad at somebody before he shits on them. Otherwise he has to own the entitled gamers. He's one of those.
He needs to make sure the right people are angry first.
It's just
literally that.
It's literally fucking embarrassing that somebody whose entire brand is being cynical is conflated with somebody who doesn't know their head from their ass, so they don't know when they're being lied to. If you can't see the fucking difference between the Killzone 3 trailer from E3 2005 and that Unreal 5 tech demo, you're a fucking idiot.
I quoted, you tweeted a summary of it, and then I just quoted it saying that This is the experience of cynical gaming YouTubers. And then I immediately got a reply from someone saying, Jim is cynical against video games, cynical against capitalism. Learn the difference.
Okay. Let me fucking go off on this, because I am not somebody who is kind to capitalism. Skepticism has to be based in you fucking knowing something.
Yes.
You can't just go, I know nothing, but it's wrong. You have to know something. And you know what? It's okay to be skeptical even if you don't know something, as long as you go look into it.
Right. And being cautious about a thing is different from what he did in this video. This is the equivalent of one time he went outside and he thought it was raining, but it was someone upstairs pissing on his head. And now every time he hears rain outside, he goes, oh, it's probably piss. The fuck, man? Know your head from your ass. Or shut the fuck up. Like, I don't go out of my way to talk about issues I don't know jack shit about. And honestly, you clearly should stop too. This is fueling insane people all over the internet. Go fuck yourself. So, I hear we have Power Rangers Season Pass.
They announced a Power Rangers Battle for the Grid 3rd Season Pass. Now, normally when there's a Season Pass for a fighting game, you're like, what do we got, like 5 or 6 characters? No, you got 3. So we got 3 of them. The Purple Wolf Ranger from Jungle Fury, who is played by Virgil from DMC, the DMC.
Yes.
So we have 2 Virgils in one video game now. That's just wonderful. I hope there's an alt with the fedora. Steel wrote here, the fake Red Ranger from Samurai, because they need a girl.
Okay, so I want to talk about this real briefly because it's fucking funny. Power Rangers Samurai. The Power Rangers are, samurai protecting Earth. Red Ranger's a white dude whose name is James Shiba. One of the gimmicks of the show, which they just took from the Japanese Sentai, is that he's not actually the leader. He's a decoy for the true leader, who is a girl. And everybody was sure that girl would be Japanese, and the Red Ranger being a white dude would be like a really long-term red herring. No, it's a blonde girl. So they technically do it twice. And the third one is Scorpina from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a character who literally stops existing halfway through that season because they forgot her.
Yeah, it's true. I even remember that from watching it. It was real weird.
This one was like a secret because they just showed the model silhouette.
But nobody else has a head thing like that.
Looks like that character.
Yeah, look at that head. Good Lord, I'm just looking it up now. That's insane.
Yeah, no, that shit kind of stands out in a crowd.
They're running out of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reps they can use, so they're digging through the trash of what they can pull out.
At the same time, I read the phrase Purple Wolf Ranger and had to look it up. This guy looks awesome.
The show that's from is really cool. I really like the Rhino Ranger. He's also very raw. Important note about Scorpina in the Sentai, she's Goldar's wife.
What?
And
okay, I get the armor similarities now, but
in Zyuranger, she is Goldar's wife, and at the end of Zyuranger, where they're all sealed back in the jar, they have a kid, and Rita Repulsa, who spends the whole series hating children, is like, oh, what a cute baby, and that's like the character development.
Oh man, an arc? What the fuck?
She revives her son with witch magic, but that sells his soul to Satan, and then he says Satan is his father.
All right. Okay.
Just thinking about Lord Zed's kid.
I love that the Purple Wolf Ranger has a permanent UWU on his helmet. It's very good.
Yes.
Ooh, what's this?
I'm glad they're using more of the different looking Rangers, where they don't look nearly as basic.
Yeah, no, that's cool in a fighting game for sure.
Especially when we're making a Power Rangers fighting game and we're mostly going to use Rangers, and I'm like, how do you do that?
Well, so far it's been we use the 6th Rangers and nothing else because they have unique design.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring in the Titanium Ranger who had the evil snake tattoo that turned into a cartoon that bit him in the neck. What? That one was cool. I posted that clip yesterday on Twitter. It's crazy.
I didn't see that.
The Titanium Ranger is great because he didn't exist in the Sentai, so in the show it kept having to be, I have to leave to go on a journey. Because they don't have footage of him.
It is one of the funniest things where they're like, the villain has shot me with the Naruto curse tattoo. You better watch out. It's real dangerous. While I'm finding that clip, I will talk about the last piece of news I have.
It's great news.
Which, in terms of this came out of nowhere news, they announced, all right, in Japan, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered come out on the 27th. We're like, man, I hope they localize that. Then 12 hours later, everywhere's getting it on the 27th. It's just coming out next month. Everywhere, online multiplayer.
I'm excited.
I thought it was August 27th.
Oh, yeah, August 27th.
So 2 months.
I'm excited. That game was, unfeasible for any normal human being to play when it first came out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not everyone's rich.
I wasn't. But
not everyone.
We had a group of friends.
We had a group of friends that were desperate.
Yes.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, when you team up in Crystal Chronicles, don't give Handsome Joe the chalice. Just don't. He'll run away from the enemies, and then you'll all die in miasma.
And then Naraku wins. You don't want that.
You don't want that.
And you got to power up
Dan.
Saiga again.
I'm gonna give this to you, Dan, so you can look at it now.
Okay.
Here's this clip. I got of the Titanium Ranger. You need to remember, this is the material that Saban came up with.
What?
What the? What the?
Okay.
Some good storytelling.
It's a classic.
I like that they cast a guy who looks like he would have a sick snake tattoo.
They're like, we don't have any footage for you. Go on a journey to find out a way to get rid of the snake tattoo, and he fights like a big stop motion snake with his Power Rangers weapon, even as a normal guy.
What?
Lightspeed Rescue might be one of the best seasons because none of them knew Kung Fu, so they just had a lot of guns.
Jesus. Well, that's a big thing to mention this week. I think we're all going to get fucked by Sony next week. I think that's what's going to happen to us.
If we get fucked by Sony, I'm banning the playing of all video games.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah, no. That's when we pull out the Ace card. We've been waiting this whole time to use the in the interest of time segment.
I'm scared we're going to have to be streaming every day, Dan. I don't want to die.
It's fine. We can figure this out. Don't worry about it.
Jeff Keighley's like, summer games every day. There's a new announcement. You want to watch movies with KZ at 3 a.m.?
It's a week and a half straight of League of Legends reveals.
We didn't even talk about it, but part of that 13 Sentinels thing was the entire IGN E3 thing was announced. So we have like 5 or 6 different days of just stuff.
Yeah.
It's exciting, but scary.
It's exciting, but I didn't want to learn that game was coming to the States by them announcing that they were going to show the trailer for it.
It's epic. It's okay, though, Dan. Next week, we'll get some new game from them shown off, because they did announce that they're working on something else, so it'll be a PS5 game.
Oh, fuck
from
you!
Vanillaware.
Fuck you!
With a medieval setting.
It's fucking insane. Anyways,
also do what you did for Odin Sphere, but for Muramasa, and put it on modern platforms, please.
They better. That better be the special announcement. I will take that over Princess Crown. I want Princess Crown real bad, but I'll take that over it.
Anyway, so we're finishing the fight with Halo and trying to survive next week, and that's all I'm gonna announce. We may do some Donkey Kong related streams, but we're gonna have to play this by ear, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say. KZ, what do you have going on?
I'm going to start putting out the various new Let's Play stuff. So it's Sakura Wars, which I went through and died doing. Xenoblade Chronicles is out, so I'm still not done. I have to start that. Very excited for it, though. And some P5 related stuff, because I'm finally going to do that as well. There's a lot of content coming out. And I'm trying to get as ahead as possible because of the dong.
Ah, yes, the curse.
Curse.
Dong, dong, Donkey Kong. I hope you're excited to hear that 175 times.
That's
Always.
gonna be one of the best parts of that game. I'm gonna be honest.
Well done.
Someone was like, "Dan, did you cut Donkey Kong music into this episode of the Rant is Go to help you deal with next month?"
I'm so excited. It's gonna be me, you, Bob, the camera.
I'm coming for DK64 as long as I can. I fucking was forged in that game. That's why I got a Nintendo 64.
You were forged.
Feels gonna
I
buy
beat it
him.
I beat it.
Glowing banana. Bluster Kong is slamming a hammer onto it.
I beat it at least 3 times.
Feels gonna be sitting there with the whole birthday cake to himself, eating it and watching the stream.
I am writing you a fucking survival guide for that game.
It's okay. As I said before, we're gonna do those games and then I'll die, so I won't have to worry about content ever again. As my nightmares as a child foretold, Donkey Kong 64 will be the end of me.
And we're coming up on the end of Danganronpa V3. If I am, by the time you hear this, assuming my predictions are not wildly off, there will be 2 more streams, and then we'll be done with that game, ideally.
Okay, I'm gonna hit stop.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support the GB Podcast Network, head on over to patreon.com/GB Podcast, so that way you can get exclusive behind the scenes on stuff, other content. There's a lot of content. It's basically non-ending avalanche of content. So head on over there, become a $5 backer or a Podlord today. This GigaBoots video was brought to you by the arcane powers of our executive producers. Esme, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Starfalcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Red Blaze 27, and 32X Wen. Thank you very much to our powerful executive producers. And also these guys. If you like this video and want to lend us your power, head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today.